right, Tuesday, everybody. A lot of stuff to get to. It's interesting talking to Chris about, I think a lot of people expected something different with the Epstein stuff. I didn't expect much. And so, people are like, are you disappointed? I'm like, no, I didn't expect a lot. I think the thing that, in my mind, that has always happened is we knew so much of what was going on and we were okay with it. We knew a lot that was happening and that they were young and we were okay with it as the ends justify the means. If we could catch powerful people along with our allies doing things that are awful because they like young girls under the age of 18, then, the ends justify the means. And I think that's a lot of what it is. It would be an embarrassment. It would be an absolute embarrassment. Uncle Sam can't be a pimp. Well, in there, if it worked to get somebody and the greater good was that, people, I think, who are powerful would think, oh, it's okay. So it wasn't really, when I heard people like they were upset. Look, the memo itself was bizarre. It wasn't even a real, nobody signed it. There wasn't, and it kind of alluded, nobody here on the list is criminal, but there's a list.
If you look at this memo, it's very unusual. It includes no signatories on it. It has the Justice Department seal and the FBI seal at the top, and it's just 1.5 pages. And the summation of it is that they have reviewed all of their investigative holdings related to the federal investigations of Jeffrey Epstein, and they covered over a significant amount of material. And what they determined is largely concluding what investigators had determined years ago, that there is no incriminating quote-unquote client list.
Okay, so there's none of that. So you mean to tell me that Heidi Fleiss kept the list and wrote several books about it, but the guy who's supposedly beyond meticulous kept no list? Is that what you mean to tell me? No. I think we all could recognize there's a lot more going on here. Am I right, Ken? I mean, come on.
Now, come on, brother Chad.
And I'm not into this stuff. I find most conspiracies kind of hilarious and ridiculous and people reach, but I was bored at night, but not last night.
You mean you're not just going to take official word?
No. No. And I find it odd, too, that the day that BB shows up, this rolls out the night before. Given to Axios, by the way, super kind of left-leaning publication. I mean, there is down the middle as you're going to get in most establishment publications, but they're to the left.
Yeah.
And come on. Okay, let's just say nobody on there you can actually say did anything wrong. You still have a list.
I don't know for sure, but don't the crime families have ledgers?
Of course, that's what.
Why
do you think that Capone went to jail? Not for all the stuff he did that was awful and violent, because he kept a list of all of the people that owed him money, all the things they did to avoid taxes. They kept down to the dollar. And this guy didn't? Again, Heidi Fleiss. Heidi Fleiss, the Madam of Hollywood.
Madam.
She had a list. She had a little black book. This guy didn't. But you have thousands upon thousands of hours of child porn, but not really, but kind of, but sort of. Well, if you have that, people must be doing things, so wouldn't that be incriminating to them? But you weren't going to get what you wanted out of this because the government, our government, I think, in my mind, this is my opinion, here's my hot take, it is Hot Take Tuesday.
You got that right.
We were as involved as anybody else. We turned a blind eye because it would benefit us in the long run because, hey, if we can get some sort of something over somebody's head, we can get them to do something for us. And I think there's no doubt that Mossad was involved. No doubt about that. I mean, go look at how, when he died, Giselle's father, when he died, they buried him on Mount Olive. He got like the full shebang when it comes to the burial. You had several of their, what's the name? Barack not Obama, but the other guy he was there with them, their former prime minister. I mean, it was
Clinton?
No, Clinton. He could have been. Oh man, stop that. I like him young, but not that young. So it's just, but don't blow. And they looked, you know what? They look like such idiots. And I feel bad, like I said, for Dan. I met Dan a couple times, being in this business for a long time. I've been blessed to meet a lot of people, and he seemed like a good dude. But when I saw him last, he looked like a deer in the headlights. You were told this is what you've got to do. So there you go. Deal with it. And now you look like you look like fools. And it's not your fault. Welcome to the world of politics in a way. Welcome to the world of power. This passes politics. This is straight up power. So there you go. There you go. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Man, we got so much stuff to get to. You know, I mean, so I saw somebody, I think it was Charlie Kirker said, would you be fine to print the list if even Republicans went to jail? Yes. If we care about that.
Yeah, this goes beyond politics.
Yeah, there's a reason, because everybody in some way, shape, or form was on the list. And you may not have known something, you may not have did something, but you knew stuff was going on, right? The Capitol is high school. The whispers are way louder than you realize. And much like the likes of Weinstein, everybody kind of knew what was going on. To the extent, maybe not, but you knew something was there. How did this guy have $1 billion? I'm still trying to figure that out. How do you get a sweetheart deal? All of these things, let's be real. The embarrassment would have been to us and to the Mossad and potentially to MI5 or somebody like that, where we all had, we had skin in the game, and we knew. And could you even imagine if we knew, and that came out, that America knew that we essentially were allowing young teenage girls to get pimped out to dirty old men so we could get pictures, and we did nothing about it? Oh, good God. That's embarrassing. That'd be so embarrassing. So what do? You kill it. Kill it! It is Hot Take Tuesday. We got a lot of hot takes. Where's my hot take to start?
That was a pretty good hot take right there, Brother Chad.
That is it. Somebody says, Lindsay, Chad, my friend on YouTube, Dallas, insisted you voted for Kamala. No. And thank you for the gifts. No chance would I vote for Kamala. I voted for myself before I vote for Kamala.
Wrote yourself right in.
And let me tell you something.
I've done that.
And let me tell you something. I am more qualified than her. No doubt about that. So, no chance. Thanks, Dallas, that you think that. I don't know why you think that, but yeah, whatever. Oh, good God. People are insane.
You must not be passing his purity test.
There's a lot of that. All right, it's the same thing that's going on with I've got more crazy audio for, like once one person does it, where they say something ridiculous about, the little girls dying, then it gives everybody else the opportunity to go, well, I'm going to one-up you. Like this one lady I have, I don't know if you've heard of, maybe we'll play it. The lady we heard yesterday, this lady has nothing compared to this other lady. This other lady, she's bummed she didn't start the damn flood.
Goodness.
It's disgusting. People are disgusting. It is Hot Take Tuesday. We do hot takes here. I got some ones people were giving me on the way in. If you got a hot take. And it's fun. It could be serious, but it could be fun as well. Rachel, downstairs, our digital lady, the expert of experts, she said, here's a hot take. Mayonnaise needs to be on a lot more things. And I thought to myself, you know what? You're right. I love mayonnaise.
I agree.
I love mayonnaise.
I have always got a big jar of mayonnaise in the fridge.
Yeah. If you open up I have barbecue sauce. My wife, even if we don't need it, she'll buy okay, we're down to 7 left. I'm going to go get another 12.
Yeah, can't run out.
And same thing with mayonnaise. We have so much mayonnaise.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy.
There ain't nothing like a little dollop of mayonnaise on top of your cheesecake.
No. Like sometimes I'm like, you know what I don't need? I don't even need stuff. I'll just eat a mayonnaise sandwich. What do you think of the apples out of those apples?
Yes, sir.
You ever just sit there with a spoon and eat it out of the jar?
That's it.
Dude,
fries. I dip my fries in it.
I'll wrap a slice of bologna around a piece of cheese and dip it straight in mayonnaise.
That's because you are a good, God-loving American.
And now that Brother Bell announced that, I'm going to use it on some cheesecake sometime, too.
Ooh. So it's Hot Take. So if you guys know what it is, Hot take. You guys give us a hot take. It could be something stupid. A couple weeks ago. Last week, it was, I think The Godfather's a stupid movie. I never thought it was any good. It was boring as hell. You know what? There's a show out right now. Well, it's been out for a while. It is called The Order, and it is on Paramount Plus, and it is about how they got it made. It's a drama, and it is awesome, including the fact that the mob came to see them and said, hey, you guys aren't going to be able to make this movie unless you fix this. And they're like, what do we have to do? They're like, we're going to take the word mafia and mob out of the entire script. He's like, okay, yeah, we'll let you do it then. They had shut down production because the mob's like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. Crazy. A lot of good stuff to get to today. Lion attack, shark attack, naked bowling. Oh,
Naked bowling?
naked bowling, people.
Is that what caused the lion attack?
No, the lion attack, I'm still trying to figure out the lion attack. It's an odd thing. There's been 3 since Friday.
Really?
Yes, 3 since Friday. One place, you're like, I could see that. But the other 2, a little interesting. We'll talk about that as well. A bunch of other stuff. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Follow me at Chad Benson Show on the Twitter. Chad Benson Show as well on YouTube. Like and subscribe. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super tough. 99.7. Birch Gold. Right now, BRICS is getting together. Trump has threatened, hey, you guys want to get involved with BRICS? You want to try to get off the dollar? Fine, we're going to hit you guys with another tariff if you want to play that game. Gold right now is been moving, and the opportunity to have precious metals protect yourself is in front of you. And I would take advantage of it. First thing, though, is you need information. Text the word Benson to 989898 today. It's over at Birch Gold. They're going to get you out a kit. They're going to let you take a look at everything. Is it right for you? You can move your IRA, 401k over there. You can get the physical. If maybe you got a savings account, you move it over there. It's a great way to protect yourself. And you got to do that by having the information. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. Find out what they can do for you, especially at a time like this and with the dollar being under so much pressure. Text the word Benson now to 989898 from my friends over at Birch Gold.
How would you like to have Jesus Christ pray for you? Did you know that Jesus Christ does pray for you if you're a Christian? Hebrews 7:25 says, "Therefore he is able also to save forever those who draw near to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them." In Scripture, intercession means to pray on behalf of. Jesus Christ is your advocate. An advocate comes to our aid or pleads our case to a judge, offering support and counsel and interceding for us when necessary. In other verses, Jesus calls the Holy Spirit our advocate. Just like you talk to yourself, when Jesus talks to himself, it's prayer. The Bible says no matter what you go through today, next week, or next year, Jesus is praying for you if you have trusted him as your Savior. He's on your side.
All right, guys, USS, United Structural Systems. You got issues out there? Huh? A little bit? With the storms, some of the stuff it's done, the damage, you're worried about everything from your foundation to what's going on the walls. Oh, my goodness me. The basement, USS has you covered. They're going to come out, make sure you don't have any water damage. Make sure some of that stuff that happened through the winter and the massive amounts of water we have haven't created a nightmare. Just in case, because as you know, as it starts to get nastier out there with the heat and all of a sudden, oh, goodness, mold, wood rot. You want no part of that. USS can help. Don't let it get worse. Let USS help. They'll come out. They'll give you a free inspection. Not going to cost you anything. Not going to sell you anything you don't need. 30 years in business, 30,000 happy customers. What are you waiting for? Call them today and find out what they can do for you. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com.
Well, the Trump administration says it's moving to protect U.S. farmland and farmers from what they call foreign bad actors. And the field is growing ahead of the 7th Congressional District special election. All this and more at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
At major U.S. airports, the TSA is now doing away with the requirement in general security lines to remove shoes. It was a rule implemented in 2006 after a failed attempt to blow up an American Airlines flight with explosives hidden in shoes. Now, almost 20 years later, Nico Melendez, formerly with the TSA, says it's time.
I think technology is one factor in allowing the change, but it's about knowing who is getting on these planes. So with Real ID, we know who these people are.
He says next, he wonders when the rule on liquids over 3.4 ounces will go away. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the dumbest thing in the world. They're taking the shoe thing off. What? Because one guy tried to do something, right? Remember the underwear bomber? You don't have to drop your drawers there. They wanted to. They're like, man, people may have something in their underwear.
With my luck, my big toe would be sticking out through my sock.
Oh, God. It is.
That'd be embarrassing.
Embarrassing is the TSA. Okay, can I just say they're useless. They couldn't catch a cold.
Completely performative.
So performative, right? Like they're useless. I'm going to say it right now. Last night, my wife had to take my son left yesterday. And we're waiting to get, we decided rather than get the little dealy bobbers, we're getting our passports. But it took a while because everybody was backed up with the passports, a little bit longer. So she's not getting on the airplane. They wouldn't let her take him to the gate. What? Yeah, you can't go. Now, here's the thing. My stepdaughter and my little brother, they could go with him. But my wife could not. Because you don't have one of these. She's like, I'm not getting on the airplane. I've got one of those, making sure they get there. Sorry. Oh, God, you stupid. Useless. What are you scribbling on stuff, too? Nobody knows what that means. Good. You know what? If I was to ever try to sneak anything in the country, you know what I do? I just take it right through TSA. They couldn't catch you. You could bring kilos of coke in here. They couldn't catch you.
And the FBI has proven it.
Oh, what like when they try to, they do those fake gun things?
Yeah, they had a 75 to 80% failure rate.
Where else do you have that? Baseball. There's no doubt. That is just ridiculous. Oh, my Lord.
You're fit to be tied today,
I've
Brother
always
Chad.
could not stand the TSA because I thought to myself, you'd be sitting there and there's an 87-year-old woman who could barely stand with Parkinson's disease, and they're giving her the once-over, right? And guys are running through singing Allah Akbar, and they're like, go through. We don't want to be seen racist. Yeah, I'll say it. Whatever. Get over it. You guys it's your joke. It's an absolute joke. Probably somebody listening right now going, oh, I work for the TSA. Really? How'd you get that? Did you have a special training? They put you through ninja training? Did you? They did a movie last year about the TSA. Did you see that with Jason Bateman and, oh, God, the guy that plays in The Kingsman? I always forget his name.
I take it was a comedy.
Taron Egerton? Is that his name, Taron Egerton?
Egerton, yeah. He played Jon Snow?
Yeah, no, he played in The Kingsman.
Kingsman, oh,
yeah,
okay,
he's Eggsy. Eggsy, all right, Eggsy. And it was a thing where, they give him something to listen into, and Jason Bateman has kidnapped his kid. I don't know. It was stupid. So who's watching it? It's like the TSA. Really? Really? Good God.
I mean, not to go for such a dated reference, but the TSA is literally the Keystone Cops.
But they are. They are. The best stuff I've ever seen in an airport protecting people? John McClane. Because he whooped ass. Why? He's from Detroit.
The airlines did a better job when they were handling security.
Yeah. My kids always trip when we watch a show or a movie and people just walk up and buy a ticket and get on it. They're like, What? Where do they go through? What do you mean? Oh, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, you could just hang out at the airport.
Oh, yeah. The weirdos used to just hang out so they could watch airplanes come in and out. Now you have to go watch trains, you nuts.
I mean, you can go get a beer.
It used to be that. Used to be totally.
Go eat.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. It's awesome.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, right? You can't even slow down anymore, right? Because you may have a bomb in your car, so you have to kick your grandma out, and she has to do a tuck and roll so the cops don't come up and go, you shouldn't park here. Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it was just a spectacular joke. Hey, so I'm sitting there last night. It's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whole power. Boom.
Gone.
All over. And I look outside everywhere.
Really?
And my wife and the kids coming back, they're like, downtown Nashville's pitch black. And it's
Interesting.
just in the middle of nowhere, just out. And I'm like, sweet mother of goodness.
I got to look that up.
He was from New York. I thought he was from Detroit. Wasn't he from Detroit? No, I'm thinking of Eddie Murphy. Also a better TSA agent. Yeah, but it was out for a while last night.
Well, I know that more than 9,000 people were without power at one point after those storms yesterday.
Yeah.
But that would be interesting to see all of downtown Nashville just pitch black. That'd be something.
It was a trip.
People out.
My wife is like the kids were really like, it was so weird. It was freaky in parts of it was just pitch. The only thing where the lights were on were the banks with their backups obviously because of the safes. Just a trip. I'll tell you what. But it was, and today I get up, I do my show, so I start prepping. It's like 4 a.m. and then power's back on.
Anybody report seeing a large black man riding around in a large Cadillac with chandeliers as headlights?
No.
Escape from New York.
Oh my goodness. What was it? Snake Plissken?
Snake Plissken.
Plissken. Oh, that was a great movie. He could have been in the TSA.
Yeah, and then what was the actor who played the bad guy? And no doubt, he was driven around in a large Cadillac with chandeliers as the headlights.
Oh, my God. I love that movie. Then they did
Isaac Hayes. It was Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes, that's right. Man, Ernest Borgnine was in it. Donald Pleasance. You gotta love Donald Pleasance. Huh? Fantastic. Guy was a great theater actor. Look at me, I'm a thespian. They're like, you want to do a Halloween movie? He's like, I need the money. And that's it. Now you're a B-movie actor. Enjoy it.
You're the Duke. A number one.
What a great movie. Oh, coming up. A lot of stuff to get to. There was Lion Attack. We'll talk about that. Maybe some more on the flood. I got some of your Epstein takes. And, yes, we're going to do our hot takes coming up in a little bit. So be ready for it. We don't know what yours is. Hot takes. Could be about anything. Something crazy, something wild. Here's my hot take on what I think about this. You guys know what it is. I had the Beatles I thought was overrated. The Godfather was overrated. What's your hot take about anything? It's the Chad Benz Show, Super Talk 997.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And the Trump administration's moving to protect U.S. farmland and farmers from foreign entities they say are, quote, bad actors like China. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says it also protects our troops by making sure farmland near military bases is protected.
We would be asleep at the wheel if we were not fully a party to an effort like this to ensure that our nation had the food supply it needs. But specifically, our troops have what they need.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says she's already canceled 7 active agreements with entities in foreign countries of concern, and more cancellations are on the way. Right now in Tennessee, at least 4 state lawmakers say they intend to run for retiring Congressman Mark Green's 7th district seat. Franklin Republican State Rep Lee Reeves is the latest. WTN's Dan Mandis asked Reeves why just after 1 year in the legislature he wants to run for Congress.
I'm a doer, right? I get things done. I've passed bills. I've stood firm. I've taken heat in some cases to get results. Look, I'm a workhorse. I'm not a show pony, and I'll say that right up front. I get in the trenches and get things done. I think Washington needs more workhorses.
Reeves is among 5 other Republicans to announce. Dixon State Rep Jody Barrett, Aaron State Rep Jay Reedy, Montgomery County Commissioner Jason Knight, former Tennessee General Services Commissioner Matt Van Epps, and U.S. Army veteran Jonathan Thorpe. 2 Democrats, State Reps Bo Mitchell and Afton Ben. By state law, this special election to replace Green must occur later this year. Looks like a primary election could take place in September, the general election in late October or early November. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
drainage areas. Rain tapers off this evening, overnight tonight. Tomorrow we have more hit-and-miss thunderstorms again in the afternoon with the risk for minor flooding in poor drainage areas.
It's that time of the year, vacation time, baby. Don't let water damage ruin your peace of mind. Protect your own Busy Bee smart Wi-Fi water shutoff valve. How awesome is that? It's smart. It's incredible. So it's installed by the experts. There's nobody better. We're looking at you guys, Nate, Gary, and everybody out there. Busy Bee, incredible. They're the best techs around. $1,249 this July only, and that's not all. Upgrade your comfort new HVAC system. Get a free air duct fogging and UV light home treatment. And if you need cleaner air, buy the middle air duct, and they're going to give you the deluxe upgrade. No extra cost. Plumbing problems, $1,000 off. Whole home water drainage line replacements, $500 off. Halo 5 whole home filtration systems, just to name a few. They're going to waive the dispatch fees. And the Beehive Club. Right now, you can gift the membership to one of your neighbors, right? Because community mandate. It matters. And they want to be, we want you to be given just like they give. That's what makes them great. They've got you 0% for 18 months if you need financing with approved credit and payments starting as low as $100 a month on HVAC replacements. Call Busy Bee now. Plumbing and heating and cooling and all of the things. 775-7833, 775-7833, or busybeehvac.com. So we do a thing here on our shows. Nature mess you up, right? We talk nature. We do that. What took place the other day was nature was awful. That kind of nature that's unstoppable, unforced nature. That's unforced death and destruction. Nobody did something stupid. There are people that do things stupid that make us laugh, make us smile, make us think, hey, you know what? I'm not as much as an idiot as I thought he was. Case in point, what's going on in Spain?
Well, thousands of daredevils scampered away from charging bulls this morning during the opening run of the San Fermin Festival. It was the first of 9 morning runs during the famous celebrations. They're held in the northern Spanish city of Pamplona. Up to 4,000 runners take part in each bull run. It can last 2 to 4 minutes. Local media reports that there were several people who were hurt on day one, but the nature of those injuries at this point is not clear.
Stupidity is what it is.
Yeah, man.
I never, if somebody gets gored and it was like, it's not a tragedy. You put white and red on and you round down a cobblestone little area and you had ginormous bulls with huge horns chase you. Nobody feels sorry for
Which you can't outrun under the best of circumstances.
Yeah, let alone cobblestone. Yeah. And let's just say it's slippery and they fall and break your leg. Again, you're an idiot.
Yeah. And they're terrified.
Yes.
And the only thing they're thinking about doing is getting away, and it doesn't matter what or who's in front of them.
No, it's so when they get injured, I just sit there and go, you know what? Chalk one up for them. Congratulations to you.
There you go.
I'm, other people are like, I would never be that way. Oh, I totally am. I want to see somebody get run through up against a wall, put into somebody's kitchen.
Bull 1, runner 0.
Right? Don't you? I mean, kind of. You ever watch? I mean, same thing when bullfighting.
Yeah.
When I see one of them get flipped into the crowd and I think to myself, good for you. You deserve that. You do. You absolutely deserve that. Bunch of nut jobs. Okay, speaking of that, here's another thing. So we had a shark attack. We've had 3 lions attack since Friday. One was in Pakistan at a home zoo where one escaped. And by the way, nice fence, guys. If you've seen the CCR TV, the fence is like 6 feet tall. It chased down a mother and 2 children, mauled them. They didn't die, but that wasn't the best move. Another one, it was in, I think it was like Kyrgyzstan or one of those. It just wandered in. His name was Zeus. It was in a protected area, got out, and then it just went on like a mauling spree in the middle of the city, and then they finally had to, they couldn't do it. They had to kill it. But this one's different, eh? This one's in Australia, and this one's a sister-in-law.
It happened in a split second. The brother-in-law of a woman attacked by a lion at a zoo near Toowoomba says he believes the apex predator was simply trying to play when it pounced. The lioness's victim lost her arm, but tonight there is still a crucial question unanswered. How could a lion inside a zoo manage to grab someone through a fence?
Because somebody's an idiot. That's how that works. Now, if I'm standing there, so I've been to the Nashville Zoo. I love it. It's amazing. It's incredible. There were lions, right? There were tigers. Oh, there was a tiger, right? So there's the big tigers right there. You know what it didn't do? It didn't come out and eat my arm. And I love how they say lost the arm, like it's a shoe. Like, what happened to my arm? You guys see my arm?
Where are my keys? Probably wherever your arm is.
Where has anybody seen your arm got ripped off? Now,
It's drawing flies, dude.
it is. Ripped it off. Apparently ate the whole thing. So there's that. This is my favorite thing, though. I want you guys to listen to the news guy, because he's super. He's from Australia. Could I?
48 hours
48 hours after this happened, it was a big lion.
after his sister-in-law's arm was torn off by his lion, Steve Robinson opens up.
There are times like this when you wonder, why do you keep going?
The 80-year-old's relative, a school teacher from New South Wales, was visiting the zoo at the weekend. She's a keen photographer and was near the enclosure watching her sister Stephanie clean it from an area off limits to visitors when she was bitten.
It was all over in a split second. It was that quick that we could only surmise at this stage. The best we can come up with at this stage is the lion was just playing. Now, how she was playing with a human in that circumstance is yet to be determined.
This guy's little zoo in Doonbury or wherever it is, good eye there. He's got like 6 teeth. And he's like, I don't even know what to do anymore. You're 80, dude. I don't know why you do it. Why do you have so many wild animals? And you've got like 50 different warnings from the local people that handle this. How's he still open? Oh, I don't even know. My wife and her sister are really upset right now because, they only got 3 arms between them. That's sad.
The woman in her 50s remains at the Princess Alexandra Hospital. She's undergone 2 emergency surgeries. Her arm has been lost, but a keeper saved her life.
She did save her life. Yeah. She actually took my wife's leather belt off and applied a tourniquet. In medical terms, she's described as being in a stable condition. Emotionally, both her and my wife are on a roller coaster. It's the great unknown at the moment.
Well, no, it's not. She's going to live, and she has 1 arm. But the question is, she's taking pictures. How did it get there? You know why? She's been there off and on for 20 years. She got comfortable. And much like everybody else who thinks, well, I've seen these animals. They're giant animals. See your house cat? You guys got a house cat? Imagine it 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Your house cat ever scratch you a little bit, like trying to get your attention? Imagine that with, I don't know, steak knives. Oh, yeah. That's how it happened.
Also unknown how such an incident could happen. The woman wasn't inside the enclosure, but no one saw the bite happen, and she's still heavily sedated.
So we haven't really pressed for answers as to what she was doing and how this happened.
Workplace Health and Safety is still investigating, but inspectors have issued a number of compliance notices to the business as the zoo reopens.
People up here are people who care, and we're very lucky to be in a community like this.
Oh, really? That's nice. That's very nice.
Who is this?
Isn't that guy great? And people up here are wondering why I'm up. He's like in a dinner jacket. Oh, I love it.
It's talking like this.
Yes, very much so. The lions are bad. Don't mess with lions.
Raw, yeah.
Hey, what's going on with farmers? What are we protecting them from now?
Yeah, so the Trump administration says they've got a 7-point plan to protect U.S. farmers and farmland from foreign entities they say are bad actors like China. And apparently, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says she has already canceled 7 such agreements, and more cancellations are on the way.
So basically, we're closing the barn door now that the horse is out.
I don't.
That's a good analogy Brother
That's
Bilal.
a great analogy. I continue to say this. Why are we dealing with China when we know all that China wants to do is everything they can to unsettle us, to spy on us, to steal from us, to destroy our way of life? And yet we continue to deal with them. Somebody explain it to me.
They make our medicine. They make some of our medicine.
They do. But so what, are we just going to hold on till then? If I'm them, you could poison the medicine. You take over there, there.
And they're just going to wait until the next election.
Yeah, let's see what's going on there. I mean, it's so frustrating because we know exactly who they are. And I have no idea why we're in this position where we continue to deal with people who want to destroy everything we're about. Everything that we're about. Our freedoms, everything. It's a sad, sad situation. And it sucks because we've allowed this to happen to ourselves because we like to consume stuff that's cheap. I mean, God, it's Amazon Prime Day. Some good deals, too, by the way.
Yeah, my wife is got her eye on a particular air fryer she wants.
Oh, yeah, a little air fryer on the old Prime Day. Mm-hmm. So are they going to protect farmers from Bill Gates? Maybe he's going to start growing our vaccines.
Wonder how much money he gets from China.
That's a great question. I mean, it's, I bet, I don't know.
Probably not as much as you think, considering they've just basically cloned and ripped off all of his software.
Yeah. I mean, I am sure at one point they probably got a decent amount, but not anymore. But it is, and I don't know how much I don't even know how much Microsoft does any, like you said, they've cloned everything. The minute they no longer need your stuff, like see Apple. Apple's phone, I mean, the phones that China are building are better than Apple. They can do more things. The cars right now, better than Tesla. They can do a lot more things at a quarter of the price because they're paying for a good portion of the subsidize it. So, it's a battle, but we've got to do better. We do. We got to do better. We're talking about our hot takes. All right, guys, give us your hot takes today. So far, we went with the mayonnaise thing earlier. Rachel brought that up to us, that mayonnaise needs to be on everything. And I love mayonnaise. It's phenomenal.
I'm going to have to agree with that.
Okay.
I do agree with that.
All right.
Now I got to think of something else.
All right, Bell.
I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this one, but brunettes over blondes.
It's a solid take right there.
That's
solid.
That's divisive.
It is. It's very divisive.
Yep.
But I understand. that.
Gentlemen prefer blondes.
No.
I, sir, am no gentleman.
You're not. That's why you don't want a blonde. Right? You don't. Blonde gentlemen prefer. You know who made that up? Blondes. That's who made that up.
Yep.
Well, I've had blonde hair in the past, and I got a blonde wife, boys.
Ooh, look at you. That is crazy.
Well, I really stepped in it back there.
That's okay. But see, the thing is,
That's
you didn't
whole
say
thing
you hated blondes.
Yeah, it's just
you
a hot
just
take.
prefer dating
Yeah.
Brunettes, yes.
brunettes. Although I mean, you had a blonde. I was right. That's fine. I see why right now. Right?
No, she was a brunette.
Was she?
Yes.
It was a long time ago. That was our Christmas
party.
We go to the Christmas party. This is my story with Belle at the Christmas party. Hey, who's that? I don't know. Who's that person over there? I don't know. How long you worked here? 10 years. Who's that person? Never seen him before in my life. Who's that person? I have no idea.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Think they might be in sales.
Oh, you find out later they're other parts of the station right next to us, and they've been here the same amount of time as Bell's. Like, you've never seen him? No, I've never seen him.
Never said a word to him.
Never said. You know what though? Like I played with Brent the other day. Played golf with him. I'd never seen him until the day we played golf, which I thought was weird.
How did you put the golf game together?
Because we were at the. Remember when they tried to electrocute me at that golf?
Oh
thing?
yeah.
Remember that when they tried to kill me? That was pretty much a Richard thing to do. You know who you're talking about. But that's the first time I'd ever seen him. So yeah, I could see that. But Belle, you've been here for 10 years. You figured you'd cross paths with some people.
Nope,
not at all.
I do my job. I do it as best I can. Then I go home and watch MASH reruns.
There you go. That's what he does. Solid. It's a solid. Coming up, we'll have our hot takes. Let us know what your hot take is. Somebody did a hot take about the Epstein list. We'll talk about that. Bunch of other stuff to get to. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you. Have the podcast. Shame. 10 minutes of show. Super Talk 997. Raycon, best earbuds around. Wear my Raycons every single day. 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of listening power. Boom. It's incredible. Top of that, fast charging, which is one of the new features. So every 10 minutes, it gives you 90 minutes of charge. On top of that, you have active noise cancellation. On top of that, you have awareness mode. You have isolation mode. On top of that, weather and sweat resistance. We can go on and on, kids. They're amazing. And right now, are you ready for this? 15% off. They cost about a third of what other premium audio brands cost. And you're going to get a 30-day happiness guarantee. So that means you try them, you don't like them, send them back within 30 days, give your money back, no questions asked, period. Try them now. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad for the best earbuds around. They're called the Everyday Earbuds from Raycon. You will love these. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
Trump administration canceling contracts, it says, to protect U.S. farmland and farmers. And the field of candidates is growing ahead of the 7th Congressional District special election here in Tennessee. These stories and more at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did you say Afton was joining it?
Yep.
You ready to be married to a congresswoman? No?
I am pretty sure Afton actually has a boyfriend. And she doesn't believe in traditional marriage.
It's probably an open relationship anyways.
She doesn't believe in traditional marriage. She told me so.
She doesn't. I could tell. So.
Yeah, Afton, according to the Tennessee Holler, filed a statement of candidacy with the FEC on Monday, along with Bo Mitchell.
Bo Mitchell.
Nashville Democrat state rep.
I think they're going to have a tough time in that district, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty red.
Everywhere's kind of red outside of this area, basically. A few other small enclave. What is who's the Republican that's already thrown their hat in?
Well, there's several. You got Lee Reeves, Jody Barrett. Lee Reeves is a Franklin Republican state rep. Jody Barrett is a Dixon Republican state rep. Then you got state rep Jay Reedy of Aaron. Then other Republicans, Montgomery County Commissioner Jason Knight, former Tennessee General Services Commissioner Matt Van Epps, and then U.S. Army veteran Jonathan Thorpe.
Okay. That's a lot of folks.
And then, see, we're going to have, looks like we're going to have a race for District 6, too, because Congressman John Rose is going to run for governor.
He's going to run for governor.
Yeah.
He's going to lose to Blackburn, but whatever.
Yeah, I wonder why she hasn't announced.
I often wonder that as well at this point in time.
Well, if she doesn't announce, I mean, Glenn Jacobs will get in more than likely.
Well, there's probably some people out there that would like to get in, but they're waiting to see because they figure if she gets in, she's got the money, the name recognition. That's going to be a tough thing to overcome.
So you might as well defer to her because you're just going to go spend a lot of money to lose.
Yeah. And if you've got a lot of money, Rose has some money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what you have to do. You have to have a lot of money.
Yeah. And he apparently gets to finish his term.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, never mind about any special election. Yeah, it looks like he gets to finish his term because the 6th district election falls on the traditional 2026 midterm election dates.
Okay. So he'll get to finish his term, and we'll see what it looks like. But I think everybody, it's one of those things where people are waiting to see, does she get in? Because
why waste all that money?
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, I'll never vote for her. Oh, you probably won't, but not everybody's. The people that come out in the primaries are going to be small comparatively to what comes out in the general. And in the general, if your choice is her or somebody to the left of her, you'll probably vote for her. I doubt you're going to stay home. Maybe you would. Maybe you're like, I'll show her. I'm going to show her. By the way, what's your mayonnaise go-to, like Kraft? I've never had Hellman's.
Hellman's is real good, but I'm telling you, nothing against the brand names, but great value mayonnaise to me is just as good as anything else.
You want to know why? It's great value, baby.
Except for Duke's.
See, I've had Duke's. This is the first time I've had Duke's because we didn't have Duke's in the West Coast, even in the Southwest. We didn't have Duke's.
Duke's there's just a special kind of cream.
Yeah, so Duke's is pretty good. I like Kraft. I do a little bit of Kraft as well.
Kraft's all right, yeah.
Do a little bit of Kraft. So, that's... I've not tried Hellman's, though. But now I've got to try the great value. I'll try it all. My wife always tries to buy this organic crap. It's crap, okay? Don't, right? This is why this marriage is not going the way it should. Okay? Because you buy crap like that.
I think your marriage is going just fine.
It is going fine, but it'd be going better, right? If she got on the plan and continued to give me the stuff, just find out what Robert Kennedy doesn't want us to eat, then buy that. Because that tastes good. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. Some more on Epstein. He's dead. But how did he die?
Is he dead?
Is he? I never saw the body. Talk about that. We'll talk about that straight at Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7.
1 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, only about 2% of available land is owned by foreign entities. Most of that is forest, according to the Tennessee Farm Bureau. And it might stay that way under what the Trump administration announced today is a 7-point plan to protect U.S. farmland and farmers. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins says she's already canceled 7 agreements and more are to come.
Actively engaging at every level of government to take swift legislative and executive action to ban the purchase of American farmland by Chinese nationals and other foreign adversaries.
Tennessee has passed legislation aimed at restricting foreign ownership of land, particularly from countries designated as foreign adversaries. Agriculture Secretary Rollins says the Trump administration is clear on who they plan to detain and deport from the U.S., no matter where they may work, with the goal of having a 100% American workforce.
Ultimately, the answer on this is automation, also some reform within the current governing structure. And then also, when you think about, there are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America.
Right now in Tennessee, at least 4 state lawmakers say they intend to run for retiring Congressman Mark Green's 7th district seat. Franklin Republican State Rep Lee Reeves is the latest, and WTN's Dan Mandis asked him why after just 1 year in the legislature.
Well, it's a good question, and it's one I'm sure I'm going to get. But look, I wanted to serve the people, and this is not the timing I would have chosen. Obviously, I would have hoped that our congressman had stayed longer, and I may not be running, but the opportunity is right now to serve a greater district than the one I have and I love. I love what I'm doing right now, but I think it's an opportunity to serve.
Reeves is among 4 other Republicans to announce: Dixon State Rep Jody Barrett, Aaron State Rep Jay Reedy, Montgomery County Commissioner Jason Knight, former Tennessee General Services Commissioner Matt Van Epps, and U.S. Army veteran Jonathan Thorpe. 2 Democrats, State Reps Bo Mitchell and Nafton Ben. And by state law, the special election to replace Green must occur later this year. So it looks like a primary election could take place in September, the general election in late October or early November. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu talking to reporters today after meeting with House Speaker Mike Johnson on Capitol Hill. While the prime minister did not give specifics, he said he's hopeful about reaching a deal with Hamas for a ceasefire in Gaza, but added there's still more work to do.
We have still to finish the job in Gaza, release all our hostages, eliminate and destroy Hamas's military and governance capabilities, because Gaza must have a different future for our sake, for everyone's sake.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
108 people now confirmed dead.
Goodness.
That was you can't stop that. Now you could be prepared for it. You could have gotten out a warning. Comfort, which is a small little town not too far from Kerrville, where all of this took place, in the area there in the in Texas, in the Hill Country, they also got hit with it. They had a siren though. They put the siren in years ago. They have a volunteer fire department. They saw that things were going down. They sent out a couple warnings, and then they got over to places that were really vulnerable. Like there was an RV park where people come and on vacation and stuff, and they made sure that everybody was moved out. There's going to be questions in this situation, I think, when it comes to the city leaders and the first responders. Why didn't you get to the camps in some of the areas that were vulnerable quicker? Because you knew that this was coming to a certain extent. It's sad. I mean, and God, you see nature. I mean, you see trucks. I mean, there's a giant, huge dump truck, and it's been moved just miles inland.
Well, and then footage of entire cabins.
Oh gosh, yeah,
floating right downstream. And then this morning, I heard one report that some of the searchers, in the debris piles of just trees and cars and remnants of what used to be structures, they're hearing cell phones.
Oh, that's just it eats your soul.
Yeah,
and yesterday is one of the things I said. You take a moment for, everybody's celebrating the Scott Ruskin guy who saved so many of these people. That's amazing. Take a moment for the guy that's out there on his own, 3 miles inland, looking for. He's now rescue. He's not rescuing anybody. He's recovering, and he's running in potentially to little kids and people who've died. And if that doesn't bug you, one of the reasons I saw the Cajun Navy guy said, look, the reason that we have the reason we have military guys is because they've seen a lot of this stuff, but it bothers them. It should. The minute it stops bothering you, you need to find a new line of work and seek help. And you do. And seeing these guys who are just having to come back, having found a child, that's got to eat your soul. It's horrible. It is. But I was listening to a guy talk today. He said he's haunted because his neighbor's house floated away and he could hear them screaming, but he could do nothing about it. That's going to live with you.
Yeah.
It is.
Have you ever heard somebody scream when they are in like a life and death situation? It is a different.
Yeah, it is a
different kind of scream.
Yeah, it is a different. You hear it's one of those things where everybody takes notice.
Yeah,
like you could tell there's a difference between a fun scream, a scared scream, and a scream where this is terrifying, and something may go down. And, people are fighting for their lives. And everybody thinks, well, you could just float or this, that, and the other. You can't. It's not the floating. It's the debris that kills you. Because you may get to a rock or something, but you know what else comes with you? A car. And then what? That's the big thing. And yes, the swimming, especially for people who aren't good swimmers, it's still a tough thing. And yeah, more people survive, but the funny thing is, I'm going to play some stuff from some wackadoos. This is a perfect example of wackadoos that are out there.
It's a hard pill to swallow, huh? The fact that if you would have just voted for Kamala, that those kids in Texas and all those families in the RVs would more than likely still be alive. But instead, you just made fun of her laugh while people were screaming at you that if he was voted in, people were going to die. And look where we are. Bunch of parents who can't protect their own kids.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
What a scumbag. And by the way, where was Kamala and them? 108 people died in North Carolina with the floods.
Yeah.
Where was Biden there fighting? It was, if Kamala was elected, was she going to fly in like Superman and Superwoman, and save the day? No, because nature will do nature things. Today I'm watching some in Indonesia. You see their most active volcano. plumes of smoke like 60,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, man.
It's erupting. Guess what happens if that thing takes off and really erupts? You can't stop it.
No, and you better get miles.
Yeah. I remember Mount
away.
St. Helens. So I was in Southern California as a kid when St. Helens went off, and it Richter scaled all the way down there. We had plumes of ash like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And the people that were within miles were liquefied in seconds. When nature wants to do whatever nature wants to do, it will do it. And to sit here and go, well, if Kamala was there, no. Even the people at the National Weather Service came out and go, no, we had more than enough people. The thing is, there's a breakdown in communication to a certain extent from getting people the information and them heeding the warning. Like Chris and I were saying, you gotta, we were talking about before he bounced. Getting people the information is only a portion of it. You got to make sure that they take it seriously. And Ken, you and I talk about it all the time. If you don't heed that warning, it don't matter.
I think after Helene, and now definitely after this in Kerrville, Texas, I think people are going to treat these flood warnings differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, maybe. I
you know
don't
what?
know.
They'll treat them differently the first 2 or 3 times that something happens, but then they'll get comfortable with it. It's like we were talking last hour about the lion that ripped the lady's arm off. She had been around that place for 20 years. She had gotten too comfortable with a beast that can do anything it wants whenever it wants around her. And you have to be on guard all the time. You get one shot at this life. And you've got to make sure that you pay some attention. And listen, I would rather overprescribe being super safe than say, nah, and then a whole bunch of people died. So it's sad. And the fact that people have turned this political is it's vile. And it continues to it makes me sad. I was sitting there last night going, God, the internet is a place where we basically just hand a-holes the opportunity to be that.
Sure. Yeah.
In a way that is, it's sad. It is. And it's funny. This is one of my favorite shows. I'm going to talk about shows that's awesome. If you guys ever see this, it's called Mr. In Between. And this guy's named Ray. And he's a dad. He's a single dad who's also a hitman. And he's in Australia. And Ray is an interesting character. And the interesting character part of Ray is he's trying to do good, and he has to go to a counseling. And he's in this counseling talking about, whether or not he likes to hit people.
Do you enjoy hitting people?
I wouldn't say I enjoy hitting people. If I hit somebody, I generally got a pretty good reason.
And you think you had a good reason?
Did I just say that?
So can you remind me again what that reason was?
Well, they were being assholes.
The world is full of assholes, right? You do realise that?
Yeah, and you know why?
Why?
Because people let them get away with it.
And I thought, spot on. And that was because he beat up these 2 guys who were mean to his little daughter when they got ice cream, knocked her ice cream out, and they had no idea who he was. And he's brutal. It's a great show, and it's funny. His brother's got ALS, and he takes care of his brother. The whole thing is just bizarre, but that he's got like a code, and people get away with it. And they do. And not only that, now we have decided that if you're awful and horrible, getting canceled is part of the plan, because not only do you raise your profile, but you can also raise money. And I thought that lady yesterday was the worst. The one we were talking about, that Sade lady. This lady takes the cake.
I'm going to say it because y'all scary as and I don't give a damn. Them little girls, them people died because of racism, not politics. Boom, I said it. I don't give a And I said no. Nope. Because more YT people will have to DIE in order for motherfuckers to what? CARE. I said what the I said. I don't give a and mines are here with me.
Oh, it gets worse. You're like, wow, you are vile. Oh, it gets way worse.
We voted the correct way. You reap what the fuck you sow. Just the night before the flash flood happened, y'all were okay with motherfuckers being stripped away from their motherfucking families and never seeing them again. People being deported. Y'all were okay with that. Be okay with not finding Sarah Lou. Be okay with not finding Billy. Be okay with never seeing them again. Keep that same energy, because I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Because I've been reading the comments y'all be saying. Y'all didn't give a on us brown people. We sorry that it's white people now, but this is going to be a repetitive cycle going to happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until y'all get tired. Racism cost y'all more than y'all thought. Racism wrote that line? Racism wrote a check that your ass couldn't cash. Yeah, racism wrote a check that your ass couldn't cash. And guess who's paying for it? Okay.
Just vile. And you know what? People want to be canceled. How about the kid that stabbed and killed the high schooler in Texas? He raised millions of dollars. That lady that was dropping the N-bomb with the Nazi crazy wackadoo, she raised $1 million. It's like now being canceled is a way to get paid because people are going to show them. So go out now and reward people for piss poor behavior. Good God. You know what they should have to do? They should have to stand in line at the TSA for days, weeks, months, years.
And take their shoes off.
Oh, yes. Well, everybody, I see the headline of that. Passengers are happy that they don't have to take their shoes off. No, they're not. They're just another thing that traveling's already stressful. You know what would be great to make traveling more stressful? I don't know, a 30-minute line before you have to get in line to get on the plane. People are just the worst. They are. Somebody brought up Miracle Whip. I'm going to say this. Miracle Whip and Cool Whip are the special needs of the mayonnaise and of the whipped cream family.
Fair point.
Mayonnaise beats Miracle Whip any day.
Every day. They're on a smaller bus, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I like Miracle Whip, but I'm going mayonnaise.
What is, like, Miracle Whip, what is it?
That's a good point.
It's faux mayonnaise.
Yeah, Cool Whip, what is it? It's like if I look at Cool Whip and I say to myself, okay, you had a baby whipped cream with Jell-O. That's what Cool Whip is. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. So So mayonnaise is a simple emulsion. How you like that?
Oh, big words. Settle down. It's Tuesday.
Of oil, egg yolks, and an acid like vinegar, resulting in the rich, tangy flavor. While Miracle Whip is made with the same basic ingredients, but includes additional ingredients like sugar, bad,
totally,
water, and spices, giving it, according to this person, a sweeter, tangier taste. I don't agree.
No, it's gross. First of all, you're supposed to use Cool Whip in like salads and stuff like that. That's stupid. That is stupid.
You can eat it straight from the tub.
The little tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a tub of that in the freezer now.
Those tubs of cheesecake filling that they have that you're supposed to buy and put into a crust.
Yeah.
Who needs the crust?
Who needs the crust? Yeah. Have you seen that? Like the when you can go now and get the little Pillsbury Doughboy for the cookies, it says you can now eat them without having to worry about getting botulism. It's an edible cold. You're like, all right now. I don't even have to cook these damn things.
See, I never thought about that. Back when I was 19, I worked at a Hardee's, and I would always find a reason to go into the freezer because I would eat frozen cookie dough. At the time, Hardee's was really pushing their, quote, big cookie. And I mean, I ate that frozen cookie dough like it was going out of style, and I never got sick.
No, because we never got sick. Because we were raised on dirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't make me sick.
Oh, good God. By the way, I apparently have started a storm here with the Miracle Whip and Cool Whip.
Yeah, my wife, she's Miracle Whip. She doesn't like mayonnaise. I like the mayonnaise.
Oh, look at you with the mayonnaise.
Well, I mean, it's mayonnaise.
That's right. That's what it is. Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
Of course, Jason has to turn it dirty.
Every day you have to do something bad. Oh, my Lord. Stop it. Every time I just have to I don't have to know the name. I was like, I know who did that.
You know
Right?
who that is.
Something's horrible right there. You guys could only see some of the stuff that we get. Coming up, we got more good stuff on the way. Don't you worry about that, kids. A lot of good things still to get through. All this glorious Tuesday. It's Hot Take Tuesday. We're giving our hot takes about all kinds of stuff. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, incredible probiotics, absolute enzymes. Yes. Why? Dr. Dennis Black, naturopathic doctor, who formulated this, wanted to have something that was living. And that's what these things provide to you. Is living enzymes inside of here, which are going to help your dog in a lot of ways. Number one being, for all the great stuff that happens, your aches and pains of the joints for the dogs, all this other stuff, their skin, their fur, it happens through the digestive tract. And let me tell you something. This is going to help your dog in a huge way. I want you to try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. You do not have to change anything. Just one scoop a day on top of your dog's food and watch what happens. It's amazing. Try a Jumpstart trial bag now. It's a $20 value. You cover the cost of shipping. Ruffgreens.com/Chad. ruffgreens.com/Chad. Ruffgreens.com/Chad.
Well, the Texas death toll rises again. President Trump says he's going there soon, and the administration says it's canceling contracts with foreign entities to protect U.S. farmland and farmers, and the field of candidates announcing they intend to run to replace retiring Tennessee Congressman Mark Green is growing. We'll tell you about that and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, it's growing. It's getting bigger. It's getting larger. We're all running. It's going to be great. Fantastic. We're all going to run for it.
Even though we don't live in the district.
What would be your platform? Do you need to live anywhere? I mean, for God's sakes, have you ever see all these people like, I'm running to be mayor of wherever, and you're some big city. It's like, you don't even live here. Well, I bought an apartment or I rent a place from somebody. That's all you have to do. Come on now. What would be your platform?
Leave everybody alone and don't hurt people.
There you go. That's a libertarian platform right there. That's what we're talking about here.
And leave me alone, especially.
Especially. Don't ask me for anything. Don't give me anything. Don't tell me you're going to have any kind of like, hey, we're going to do a fundraiser for you, because guess what? I'm not showing up because I don't want to be around you or your fundraiser. All right? I'm going to go there. I'm going to make sure that everybody's uncomfortable all the time. All the time. Because they're going to be lying to you, and I'm going to out it. It's going to be one term, and then it's going to be, I promise hilarity. That'll be my thing.
Only
I
one
promise
term.
hilarity. Man, the whole Cool Whip thing. Can't believe you guys were upset about Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
And Miracle Whip. I feel like Miracle Whip, you just couldn't make up your mind what you wanted to be. Like, you kind of want to be this, and I kind of want to be, I want to be maybe salad dressing. Ugh.
I mean, you can use mayonnaise for salad.
I
right?
just want mayonnaise to put on my tomato sandwich, and that's all. I don't need any damn Miracle Whip.
No.
That's good.
It's not a miracle, I'll tell you that right now. I've seen miracles. That's not it. That's not it, I say. I love hilarious headlines. I saw this, and I thought I got to talk to the boys about this.
Let's hear it.
You guys ready for this? Gary Coleman's ex-wife takes lie detector test amid claims she murdered her husband. The shocking results. If you don't know who Gary Coleman was, what you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
He was the little guy. You had sex with the little guy? He was in, Shannon Price was her name. She took a lie detector test to finally address wild rumors that she murdered him in 2010.
Oh, my goodness. Says she didn't do well.
Yeah, says she didn't say she failed, but she definitely had some deceptive results.
Goodness.
Oh, my Lord. That is hilarious. And why exactly? What did you want? His train sets? Is that why you killed him? You wanted his train sets? You want to know the tragedy of Hollywood? What, he earned like $30 million? Mom and Dad stole every penny.
Goodness.
And all he got left with was little trains.
Wasn't that part of that helped create the law that a certain percentage of a child's income has to be saved?
Yeah, like you're only allowed to take like 10% or something like that for yourself. You can use some of it for covering bills, but you couldn't. I mean, they took for a while, he was the highest paid actor on TV. I think he was getting paid $80,000 or $100,000 an episode on different strokes. And Mom and Dad took every single penny. And then he said those tiny trains. That was his big deal.
Mom and Dad be living under a bridge instead of in a nursing home.
Yeah, that was so sad. Nasty Whip, that's what somebody says. Vote for me. I can't be any worse. That's a good one. What would be your platform? Vote for me. Couldn't get any worse than this.
I like that.
Yeah, vote for me. Oh, Lord. Coming up, we'll talk a little Epstein. The island never existed. Is he alive? Maybe. We shall discuss straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
$1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We're watching a big old storm moving this way. Just west of Nashville, it is slowly creeping this way. Right now, it's prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Southern Kentucky there. So we'll keep an eye on this as it moves this way. We are under a threat of severe weather today in Middle Tennessee. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Reports say the death toll is 109 in the Texas flood as of today. And President Trump says he'll visit the area on Friday.
We don't want to get in anyone's way because, that's what happens. The president goes and everyone's around focused on. I don't want anyone to focus on us.
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
We as a federal government don't manage these disasters. The state does. We come in and support them. And that's exactly what we did here in this situation. FEMA went to an enhanced level immediately.
Officials say they have searched 26 river miles since the 4th of July when the flood hit. They've had approximately 444 rescues and 30 recoveries. But again, as I mentioned, the death toll has gone up to 109. Trump administration says it's canceling contracts with foreign entities they consider adversaries when it comes to U.S. farmland. Here's Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins.
Actively engaging at every level of government to take swift legislative and executive action to ban the purchase of American farmland by Chinese nationals and other foreign adversaries.
And right now in Tennessee, the field of candidates announcing they intend to run to replace retiring Congressman Mark Green is growing. Here's Franklin Republican State Rep Lee Reeves on with WTN's Dan Mandis this morning.
Would you have voted for the big, beautiful bill?
I sure would have. Okay. I sure would have.
Reeves is among 4 other Republicans to announce: Dixon State Rep Jody Barrett, Aaron State Rep Jay Reedy, Montgomery County Commissioner Jason Knight, former Tennessee General Services Commissioner Matt Van Epps, and U.S. Army veteran Jonathan Thorpe. 2 Democrats, State Reps Bo Mitchell and Afton Ben, also intend to run. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Heating through the middle of the afternoon and into the early evening. 10 seconds. Possible and poor drainage areas. Rain tapers off this evening. Overnight tonight. Tomorrow we have more hit and miss thunderstorms again in the afternoon with the risk for minor flooding and poor drainage areas.
Beacon Capital Management. Right now, would you call them? 615-488-9303. They're going to get you out a retirement-ready toolkit. It's going to have all kinds of goodies in it. But it's not just about the dollars and cents, right? Because we all think, retired, that's all I got. Do I have enough money? You don't want to be that person that doesn't have enough money and you outlive what you have. But there's a lot of other things that go with it. Things like taxes, estate planning, even healthcare. Let Beacon help you with all of it. So when you call them, first of all, they're local. Go break bread with them. Say hi. They're amazing people. Secondly, they're going to get you out the Money and Love for Life book, retirement planning checklist, and a maximizing retirement income white paper. No cost, no obligation, no hard pressure. Just take a look and let them show you what they can do for you. Call them today. Get that free retirement ready toolkit, 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or online at AskBeaconNow.com. lot of you commenting about different strokes, especially that episode where the bicycle shop owner, right? Remember that?
Gordon Jump.
Gordon Jump, right? And then
The big guy
Yeah,
from WKRN.
he started plowing him with drinks, let him watch the pornos, right? You know. And then what did Arnold do as a good friend? He bounced, left Dudley there by himself.
Yep, little Dudley.
Poor Dudley. We never saw him after that. He was in therapy.
Yeah.
We know who did it on that, but we don't know who did it when it comes to Epstein.
Nope.
See the way it went right in there? It's called a segue.
That's good segue.
That's a good segue. Let's take a listen to our RAG, all right, the top cop, if you will. Let's hear what she had to say a while back, because, she's top cop.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check.
She's useless. She is. But I don't blame her. I mean, I don't. I don't blame her in the sense that powers that be much bigger than, yes, even the president in some ways, were a part of this. Even when they asked him, I think it was pre the election, and they said, are you going to get the JFK files? And he's like, absolutely. Are you going to do the MLK? 100%. Are you going to do the RFK files? You betcha. Are you going to do the Epstein files? We'll see. We'll see what's in there. We'll see what it looks like. Kind of thing. My take, and here's my hot take, we knew all about it. And by we, I mean the United States. And by that, I mean us and our allies use this to hold things over powerful people and leaders' heads because this guy can move in areas that we couldn't, and he was disgusting and scummy. And people who are powerful like things that they're not supposed to have. And then they got popped. And alas, here you are. We, for the most part, and it doesn't have to be leaders of the free world, and heads of state. It could be people that were powerful in corporations, big time. I mean, all kinds of people that you can get on your side when you need to or expose them. And yes, I do believe, in my way, Uncle Sam played a much bigger role in this, and we don't want to be embarrassed by knowing that Uncle Sam was essentially pimping kids for the betterment of America's freedoms. Sounds horrible.
Nothing says freedom like child prostitution.
Yeah. I mean, it's because, the Mossad, there's no doubt that stuff was going on. We understand that. But in reality, if we take a step back, you didn't think we knew about that stuff and only they did? Come on. That's foolish. This is our buddy John Kirikow last night on with Jesse Waters.
We really don't know anything because the FBI doesn't want us to know anything. I'm not blaming the FBI director, Kash Patel, or the deputy director, Dan Bongino. I think that layer beneath them, that's part of what we like to call the deep state, has taken this bull by the horns, and they've probably destroyed information. Look at what the CIA did in 1975 after Congress ordered that it release all of its files related to an operation called MK Ultra. The director of the CIA went back to headquarters and ordered everything to be destroyed. And in the end, only about 20% of the documents survived. We're still learning about the FBI's operations against Martin Luther King 55 years after the fact. So now we're supposed to believe that everybody's telling the truth, that there were no files, there were no dossiers? I'm sorry, I just don't buy it because I know how these people operate.
Of course you do, because you were one of those people at one time. You were CIA for a very long time. I mean, do any of us, like Bell, do you believe for a moment there's no list, there's no nothing?
No. I don't, because what was Ghislaine
Maxwell?
What was she charged with if there was no evidence of there had to be a list? You prostituted these girls, and these are the men you prostituted them to.
Yeah, and you brought them to him, and that's why you went to jail. But who did he give away? What? Okay, Ken, what do you think? Do you think maybe there was a list?
I don't have any idea. I don't. I mean, I think there was, but I base that on just because I'm suspicious of everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I get that. But
I don't have any clue.
What was in these things? And it doesn't mean because people were on a list or anything that they were automatically guilty. But to say you have tens and hundreds and thousands of hours of videos and porn and all of these things and all this stuff, and it's and then nothing comes of it. Could you imagine that? Imagine today that, right, police chief and everybody here and, the TBI and everybody holds a big investigation. We've got hours and hours of porns. We've raided this house. We've got all of this stuff. And that's it. That's all we got to say. Nothing. No, nobody's getting charged over it. The one guy that was charged is dead. The lady's going to jail for what? People start to ask that question. So it's not a conspiracy. It's, everybody knows there's more to the story. And look, we as Americans and we as in the world that we live, we accept the fact that our government's going to lie to us. And sometimes I don't need to know some of the things that are going on. Okay? I don't think, there's times when I'm like, there are guys doing stuff that I don't need to know about tonight. So I'm just going to, I'll sleep better for it, whatever. I mean, it may be embarrassing and uncomfortable and ugly, but I understand that there are things that they're not going to tell us. But you made a big deal out of this. And you failed. And you failed miserably. And you didn't even fail in a way where you came out and said, look, guys, we exhausted this. We looked into everything. And if we thought for a moment we could get somebody and put them away, if we thought for a moment there was some big, they didn't even do that. They just kind of gave something to Axios, goes, nothing to see here. So the messaging was awful. And the delivery was as bad as to Axios as the messaging ended up being. And I'm not a big, it's everything's a conspiracy because I don't believe that. Matt and I even talked about it before you had a surgery. I'm an Occam razor guy. Sometimes the easiest answer is the answer. It's a straight line.
Sometimes it is.
And more often than not, it tends to be that way.
Yeah, I did an AI search of, the evidence that led to Ghislaine Maxwell's conviction. And it's all victim testimony. The corroborating evidence they list is like documents like birth certificates, flight logs, photographs and floor plans of his homes, which helped support the accuser's accounts and placed Maxwell in the context of Epstein's activities. But there's no there's no list of clients.
No.
That was used. It's all testimony. The only physical evidence was a massage table.
That was it.
That was recovered from Epstein's Palm Beach estate.
And so that's all they have. There was nothing else.
But she knows.
Of course she knows. She was never going to give it up. And at some point in time, I wouldn't be surprised quietly, she's pardoned. Because as much as the relationship between Israel and us is, the fact that her dad was such a big Mossad guy, I wouldn't be surprised if there was one of those things where she's pardoned and away she goes.
Or at least commuted.
Or commuted, something like that, and move on with your life. Especially if you've got no evidence. And you're not delivering it to the way that the average person wants. I never expected us to get anything, but I expected the way that this happened to be much better. Because I always thought we were way more involved. And how embarrassing would it be for America if we were not only turning a blind eye, but in some way, shape, or form, running cover for a guy who was supplying teenage girls under the age to disgusting old men. That would be embarrassing. So could I see us wanting to protect that? Yeah. But to tell me, well, there's nothing to see here at all. He died. Hey, we didn't have any video, but now we do. It's like everything you guys said ended up being, you're lying about the lie that you just made up. Here's 11 hours of video. Did you see him get killed? No. Oh, goodness me. This guy here is an idiot. Didn't he sleep with a spy? What's his name? Swalwell. Was it Fing Fing?
Oh, yeah.
Fang Fang.
Fang Fang.
Fang
That's
Fang.
right. That's right. Liked her name so much the first. She said, let's do it again.
I do think as lawmakers, we have a responsibility, though, to look at, did cuts affect the ability for folks on the ground and at the camp to have an earlier, better warning? But this is really going to, should we just attack government for government's sake? And for the last 6 months, we've seen an effort to undermine the hard work of government workers, whether it's air traffic controllers who keep planes from colliding in the air, or FEMA first responders who go into the harshest hit places in America. But
he thinks that everything, we should go look. We should look at all of these things. We should, yeah, that sounds great. We'll look at this. But you need to look what happened on the ground. Like everything, politics, like all politics is local. And the things that will affect us the most are things that happen in and around us, in our cities, our mayors, or, you know, the town that you live in, the small little enclave you may live in. Those things will have a bigger impact on your life in the long term. And that's why what Texas is going to have to do is look at Texas, and in particular the local area. Did you guys do enough? What could you do? Why is it that the little town has a siren that goes off, and you guys here, a bigger town, albeit very small, you guys don't have one? Why is that? Why is it that they had a siren and they were able to go out and get their people in comfort, but here you guys couldn't do it? What was that about? I mean, it's not hard. I was talking to my uncle last night. I said, dude, how hard is it to put together? He goes, dude, with AI, with all the stuff, you could have done this years ago. It's not a hard thing to do to set up these things that would trigger the local people and tell them that the river is rising at such a pace and that you need to be on top of it, even without the National Weather Service. And then the horns to go off when there needs to be, you know, that done. We don't need investigations into everything. Sometimes things happen called nature. These people would investigate Mount St. Helens. Should find out why Trump made it blow up. Good God. Coming up. A lot of stuff still to squeeze into. Men, we know the hours you work at the house. How many hours a day is it? How many minutes a day is it? Is it any minutes? Are you lazy? We're going to discuss that. A lot of other stuff still to get to, especially in hour 3, because you know what? We're just having so much fun. And we got some more of your hot takes. Hot Take Tuesday. Belle hates blondes. Loves brunettes.
That is not what I said.
Hates them with a passion. He's like, God, I hate blondes. They're stupid.
I said I preferred.
They drool.
I said I preferred brunettes, and I'm surprised I didn't get a lot of pushback on that.
No, a lot of people say blondes you have fun with, brunettes you marry. That's what somebody said and said. You know, so well, you know, that's look. He has all these. He hates puppies. He hates blondes. I expect nothing different from him. And we've been making fun of the fact that some of you like Cool Whip and Miracle Whip and all the whips. For us, we like mayonnaise here. We're a mayonnaise people.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, baby. We'll have some more mayonnaise talk straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital. I want you to talk to my buddy Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer at Bulwark. And if you've got investments, you've got a retirement, you're thinking to yourself, what can I do to get where I want to be? He's going to help you with that. They're doing something amazing. It's a free halftime webinar. They're going to look at the first half of the year and break down the second half of the year, where they think it's going, and show you what they're all about. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. It's not a rah, we're going to do it. It's an X's and O's. And they also talk about the fact that everybody else you hear, like, you should do this or we do this. Guess what? They invest globally. They look at things from a different standpoint than everybody out there. They'll also give you a second opinion as well for free, where they'll go over everything and let you know what's going on in your account. So why don't you do this? Sign up for the free halftime webinar, Thursday, July 24th, 5:30 our time, 3:30 Pacific, 5:30 our time. It's absolutely free. It's not going to cost you anything. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com to sign up today. That's Know Your Risk Podcast for the free webinar Thursday the 24th at 5:30. knowyourriskpodcast.com for our friends at Board Capital. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25252.
Texas flood death toll update. And all the bad news, there are some bright spots. Trump administration plans to secure U.S. farmland from foreign adversaries. And the growing number of candidates to replace retiring Congressman Mark Green coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's right. We're all going to run for that. Somebody said, you're an armchair politician. What is that? And then he called me a pizzle. Yeah, got me. Well, I'm okay. Okay, I'm an arch. I don't want to be a politician. That's. I don't want to lie that much. That's a lot of lying. They don't lie. They totally lie. It's their own
I
job.
think it's lost on that individual that this show and all the other live shows are opinion-based shows.
Yeah, and it's and by the way, for everybody in our industry. And there's been several over the last several months who've decided to run, well, over the last several years, decided to run for office. They're giving up their shows to run for office. Dan Bongino should be the new person you look to and go, no, I don't want to do that. He didn't run for office. He got appointed to something. But I think if you asked him today, hey, would you like to be back where you were? I think he'd say, yeah, I think so. Man, that'd be tough. I was like, I get that, How do you get back that? If you were to come back and left the FBI after all of the stuff about the Epstein, all that, how do you get that credibility back with the people? That'd be a tough thing to do. You've blown your credibility. And anything you knew that would, in theory, open everybody's eyes, you probably can't talk about. So that's a tough thing right there. It's a tough thing right there. Oh, my Lord. Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
We need a hot take on tacos.
They're amazing, incredible.
How about mayonnaise on tacos?
Oh, I don't know about that. I like salsa. I'm not a big fan of chunky salsa. Because when you have chunky salsa, I feel like you just squeeze the tomato, cut it in 3 pieces, threw it on there, go, here's some cilantro, I made you salsa.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I'm not totally out on the chunky salsa, but I like non-chunky salsa better.
Yeah, chopped up nice, has everything in it. I'm also a big hot sauce fan.
Now,
absolutely hot sauce. Hot sauce is everything on breakfast cereal.
Well, totally. You know what you can do, boys.
What?
Speaking of tacos and mayonnaise, take some mayonnaise, put some sriracha sauce in it, stir it up, and then dip those little bitty tacos that you can get in a box and then just bake under 450 degrees for about 10 minutes. And just dip little bitty tacos in it.
Oh, let me tell you something. Those little things from old El Paso, whatever.
Yeah, old El Paso.
You're like, oh, those are stupid. You have a bite. You're like, oh, I think I'll have 48 of these because you can eat as many as you possibly can. I think it's a rule.
48.
Those things are. You look and you're like, every 4 is 700 calories. You're like, well, that was 6,800 calories I just ate. But they're so good.
They are. Yeah, there's old. Oh, is it Old El Paso?
I think it is.
Or Olay?
Olay, those two. I mean, they all make them. They just bake them. Oh, goodness
Just
me.
bake 'em.
Delicious. Delicious indeed. Coming up next hour number 3 of the program. A lot of stuff. We're talking a little immigration, a little bit about that as well. Probably some more on Epstein. Some of you guys been, talking to us about that. Didn't get to the husbands and how much work they're doing at home. We're going to talk about that. Guys, are we doing better or worse? Right? Because we always hear about how horrible we are at doing housework. If you're missing the show, we always say shame. And you make sure you grab that podcast. Otherwise, shame.
Shame.
And we'll have the Swamp Ass Report. Is it going to get Swamp Assy out there?
Oh, boy.
Ooh, indeed. If you're missing the show, shame. Check out our YouTube as well. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Radar showing a line of strong storms to the west of Nashville, moving to the east. Right now, the leading edge is almost to Clarksville. We just had some really strong stuff pass through Hopkinsville in southern Kentucky. There had been a severe thunderstorm warning in effect there, but that's been allowed to expire. So we got some weather on the way. We'll be here to tell you about it. Full forecast in 5 minutes. The death toll from the Texas flood has now grown to 109, but there have been some bright spots in all of this dark, sad news. Here's Lieutenant Colonel Ben Baker with the Texas Game Wardens.
We've searched 26 river miles since the tragic event has started. We've had approximately 444 rescues, 30 recoveries.
President Trump says he's going to go there on Friday. The Trump administration has announced what they say is a 7-point plan to secure U.S. farmland and farmers from foreign adversaries like China from having a stake in their operations.
American agriculture is not just about feeding our families, but about protecting our nation and standing up to foreign adversaries who are buying our farmland, stealing our research, and creating dangerous vulnerabilities in the very systems that sustain us.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins goes on to say,
We have already canceled 7 active agreements with entities in foreign countries of concern and will continue to cancel additional agreements moving forward.
Yeah, she was asked about the Trump administration's policy on who they plan to detain and deport from the U.S. She says no matter where they may work.
No amnesty under any circumstances. Mass deportations continue, but in a strategic and intentional way as we move our workforce toward more automation and toward a 100% American workforce.
Right now in Tennessee, at least 5 state lawmakers say they intend to run for retiring Congressman Mark Green's 7th district seat. Franklin Republican State Rep Lee Reeves is the latest. He was on with WTN's Dan Mandis this morning. Dan asked him if he will proclaim to be a staunch Trump supporter as others will.
The race is going to have a lot of talkers. I'm a doer, right? I get things done. I've passed bills. I've stood firm. I've taken heat in some cases to get results. Look, I'm a workhorse. I'm not a show pony, and I'll say that right up front. I get in the trenches and get things done. I think Washington needs more workhorses.
Reeves is among 5 other Republicans to announce Montgomery County Commissioner Jason Knight, former Tennessee General Services Commissioner Matt Van Epps, State Rep Jay Reedy of Aaron, State Rep Jody Barrett of Dixon, and U.S. Army veteran Jonathan Thorpe. 2 Democrats say they're going to run, State Reps Bo Mitchell and Afton Ben. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Little Thunderstruck. Why is that? Well, because A, it's awesome and a great song, and B, because thunder and lightning is a possibility. It's that time of the show. Now it's time for the Swamp Ass News Report with the weather wizard, Ken Weaver. All right, my man, what do we got going on out there?
Boys, the meter is activated. It is activated. We are officially at a level 1 on the Swamp Ass meter. We are at 93 degrees real temperature. Heat index 100 here on Music Row.
Whoa.
Now, we got a cool down coming.
Okay. I've heard there's some rain out there. People are starting to report they're seeing some rain.
Yeah, a cool down is coming. Where's my radar at? Ah, there's my radar. Just got to click the right button.
Doppler 9000.
Yeah. The mayonnaise 9000. Radar is showing a line of what appears to be strong thunderstorms from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, stretching back all the way to Jackson, Tennessee. Clarksville is the leading edge is just east of Hopkinsville. That prompted a severe thunderstorm warning earlier. That's been allowed to expire. But now some of this heaviest activity is just west of Clarksville, starting to move that way. So this thing is moving pretty slowly. But by this evening, if not sooner, we could see some of it right here in downtown Nashville.
Man.
Now, nothing severe at this point. But, you never can rule that out here in Tennessee.
No, you can't. You can't because, as we have seen, nature will mess you up. They could do something. It could turn. It could stall. You don't know what's going to happen. So, but there we are. We're at a level 1 in the Swamp Ass. So, what do you think we might get to today? Do you think we're going to get to that 3 or 4, or are we going to hover around here?
What did we say? Level 5 on the Swamp Ass meter is over 105.
Yeah, you get 105. It's gross outside.
Yeah, you're off the charts then.
Oh.
So we're at 100 right now, boys. It's just now 2 o'clock.
Oh, feel like it could get a little ugly out there. Be prepared.
Sure, I'm glad we're here in this AC.
This is beautiful. I walked home yesterday, by the way. I ran in between the drops.
Yeah, and you were dry as a bone.
I was so fast. It was like I was a DeLorean. That's how fast I was. Went back in time. 5,000 gigawatts. It's a weird movie, isn't it? I love that movie, but it's an odd movie. It's like, so let me get this right. Your best friend is a scientist that people don't allow to teach science because he's nuts and has a nuclear reactor, and he's going to sell it to the Syrians or whatever? Yeah. Okay. You need to stay home.
I have an off-the-subject question.
Do it.
Are you going for full handlebar mustache?
I'm thinking about it.
Yes, sir.
I think you could pull that off pretty easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, do it, dude.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely. Man, get the Let Me Kill Mr. Chops.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do the whole thing. We're going to look good. That's the whole point, kids. We do hot takes.
You should do that too, man.
We do hot takes and we do hot looks.
Because you've got 3 really hot dudes on the air.
That's it.
What you see now is about all I can grow.
Just drink more coffee. Start smoking cigarettes.
That's right, man. Do some crack. That's always good for everybody.
What, you don't know me. I might do crack already.
Well, there you go then.
Lamb chops. That's
Only a
what they
couple
call
days a week. He's cutting back. He's on a diet.
Lamb chops. That's
Lamb
what they
chops.
call him. Lemmy, man, he had the best.
Lemmy did, along with that thing that was, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that big old, that's a big old mole.
That was something. It was like it was another part of the band. Aw, jeez, Chad. Trump's going out there on Friday to Texas. I saw people say, why isn't he out there now? There's a reason you're not out there now. You know why? Because he's a giant distraction. When the president goes anywhere in the world, he's a massive distraction that they don't need while they're trying to recover bodies and do stuff.
They're trying to save lives, and the footprint that he would make just showing up would get in the way of everything.
Yeah. That's what would happen, kids. I hate to break the news to you.
Yeah, well, it's like this colonel with the Texas game wardens just said they have searched, as of today, since July 4th when the flood hit, they've searched 26 miles. Yesterday it was announced they've got 62 miles to search.
Yeah.
So it's a long, tedious process.
Do we know how many people are still missing? Because I've seen so many. Here's the thing. Because people were on vacation, so some people's houses may be washed away. They may not have been there. Other people, they thought they were in places that they weren't, and other people, maybe they were home, and maybe there was more. They don't know. Do we have anything kind of nailed down of how many people are still missing?
Kerr County, where most of the deaths have been, they suggest they're still missing 18.
Okay.
And then, okay, so Camp Mystic, that's in Kerr County.
Yeah. And I think everybody's accounted for, right?
From what I understand.
Okay.
So let's see. Today's the 8th. So yesterday, there were still 10 girls missing from Camp Mystic.
So
the other 8 may just be other individuals whose relatives have said, hey, we haven't heard from them.
So this is what one Texas official just said. 5 campers and 1 counselor have still not been found.
Okay.
So I mean, that's that would, right now, 27 campers and counselors have died. So that would take the total up to 33 if they, and this, I mean, at this point in time, it's cadaver dogs. You're holding out because it's such a massive thing. But at this point in time, unless you're pinned somewhere, you could have gotten up because everything's receded enough and you could have walked somewhere. And they've got drones out there. So this is a recovery.
Yeah.
That's what this has become. And what'd you say? Like, people are hearing cell phones ring underneath debris?
Yeah, this morning I was watching NBC's coverage of it, and one of the first responders said, the really difficult thing for them is, they're going by these huge piles of debris. And what we're talking about are entire trees. Cars wrapped around trees, cars and buildings in the trees. And in some of them, they're hearing cell phones.
Oh, that's just, it's devastating. And this is from Matt Gutman, who's out there at ABC, and Matt's a good dude. He's out there reporting on it.
Who works for the city of Ingram is still haunted by the cries of his neighbors.
To me, it's a graveyard. It's sacred ground. And there's people that are probably still right there and that may never come back. They're under gravel, they're under trees. And it's real hard not to feel bad because I know some of these people.
The Guadalupe River shattering a near century-old record, cresting at over 37 feet.
37 feet. What was it, 100 billion gallons just on July 4th?
Yeah.
That's unfathomable. Think about how big your pool is.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, my pool's, first of all, it's above ground. I'm like, so you're living well. But if we can't even fathom that. 100 billion gallons or whatever it was over the space of just several hours. In a very small area that is not equipped to handle 100 million gallons, let alone 100 bazillion gallons. And it's tough. It is, in any way you could help. And there's so many people out there that have made it political. And it's Trump's fault because he fired somebody that's going to be fired in the future. Somebody took a buyout. You had 5 people. Somebody said earlier, because we were talking about the horns, and I said, the horns helped the neighboring city of Comfort. Obviously, there was none here. And people are like, well, who's going to get up if the horns go off at 2 a.m. because of a rainstorm? Well, if you don't, that's on you. But you need to exhaust everything you can. And if you live next to a river that has been prone in major situations to flood, you're probably going to get up if you hear that going off. Because if you don't do that, it's what's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. If you're given every opportunity and you don't take it, that's a you thing. What's that old joke about, a flood comes and, they come up to the lady and said, lady, a flood's coming. You got to get in the truck. And She says, no, God's going to help me. And then the guys come by in a boat, right? You know, they said, hey, lady, this thing's going to continue to go. And she's like, no, God's going to help me. Then she's on top of the roof and a helicopter comes, get on top of this. Come on, get in here. Nope, God's going to help me. And then she what? She dies and she goes to heaven and says, well, why didn't you save me? He goes, I sent you a truck, I sent you a boat, and I sent you a helicopter.
You ignored all three.
All three. It's the same thing. You've got to give people the opportunities. I mean, it's like saying the same thing. It's like, well, are you really going to get up if you hear the siren of the tornadoes? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying people aren't going to look. That's part of it. But if you don't heed those warnings, if they come, and that's a big if, because that's one of the things some people have complained about. They didn't receive any messages. They came sporadically, and part of that is because they're in areas where they don't have great cell phone coverage.
Yeah, and some of the cell phones were turned off because that's, I guess, part of the protocol at some of these camps.
Yeah.
No electronics.
So, but somebody should have had it. But even at that point in time, if you're not getting, even if, let's say you've turned it all the way down, and so you don't hear it, it doesn't blast, you may be getting the alert, but if you're not hearing it, it means nothing.
It means nothing.
And that's why the siren would be a big deal. And it was to the neighboring camp. So the beauty of our country is we fix issues like this. The bad part of what humans are all about is we're reactionary more than forward thinking. So, you go to your doctor and he tells you, you better figure out how to eat better. You're going to die in 6 months. You're going to change the way that you're probably going to eat, but you knew you should have been eating better all along. But you were almost waiting for somebody to say you should eat better. Absolutely. Cool Whip. I know Cool Whip and Miracle Whip are different. This has been our take throughout the day. We've been battling about that. We don't like Cool Whip and Miracle Whip. I don't. I know they're different. You guys don't have to explain it to me. But we got onto the subject of the whips. Not comparing them as the same. We know they're different. And anyways, we're a mayonnaise folk here. That's all we are. We're mayonnaise. That's a great name for a band.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise men. Oh, the mayonnaise, the band. Oh. My goodness me. Mayonnaise Men, the Mayo Men, live in concert for one night, the Mayo Men. Ooh. That's our hot take here.
The audience brings squirt bottles of mayonnaise and just shoots it at them
that's
on
it.
stage.
Well, that's it. Oh, my God, look at all this. Don't bring any Cool Whip, Miracle Whip, right? Any of those things.
Whip.
No whippy, no nothing.
And all they sell at the concession stand are French fries.
I love that. French fries dipped in mayonnaise. Oh, delicacy. Somebody hit it up earlier. My wife talked about this the other day. Duke's has slices of mayonnaise.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, I got to look that
Where
up.
has she seen this?
She saw it. She goes, have you seen this? And then somebody said, have you seen Duke's slices of mayonnaise? They're gross. That's what one person said.
Interesting.
What are they? The consistency of bologna?
I have no idea what it is. That's why we got Ken, the weather wizard, on it.
Yeah.
He's our roving eye in the sky.
Duke's Real Mayonnaise Slices.
What is that? Oh, my God, he's laughing. It can't be that good.
I got to look at the images of this.
So,
yeah, it looks like kind of like what you buy slices of cheese in.
Really?
You can get a slice of mayonnaise.
No way. Oh, how does that even work? This can't be real.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at some whether there is a plastic package. It says Duke's Real Mayonnaise Slices. And some old boy is putting it on pieces of bread.
Well, it can't be good for anybody. I'm telling you that right now. Coming up, men, are we working more in the house? Are we helping out the wife? I'm not talking about single guys who live by themselves. I'm talking about you're married, right? You're cohabitating with somebody. Are you doing more? Or are you doing less? We will discuss that, among other things. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Rough Greens, RUFF greens.com/Chad. Go there now. Get your free Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens, which is awesome. If you love your dogs like I love my dogs, these things are amazing. Now, the doctor who put this together, Dr. Dennis Black, naturopathic doctor, who formulated this, he realized there's a lot of stuff that's basically dog food's dead food. And this is going to help bring your dog's food to life, the probiotics and the enzymes. That's going to help your dog in a gazillion ways, especially when it comes to digestive tract. So if you want a healthier, happier dog, try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today. Put them to the test. So it's a $20 value. All they ask you to do is cover the cost of shipping. It's a few bucks. When you get it, sprinkle once on top of your dog's food a day. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to change anything. That's all you have to do. So try it now. Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com/Chad, roughgreens.com/Chad, roughgreens.com/Chad.
Have you ever heard someone say, I used to be a Christian, but not anymore. After all I've been through, God wasn't there for me. Here's what the Apostle John said in the early church about false teachers in 1 John 2:19, about those who leave the Christian community. They went out from us, but they were not really of us. For if they had been of us, they would have remained with us. But they went out so that it would be shown that they all are not of us. Essentially, the Word of God is teaching what the true spiritual condition really is of those who walk away from their faith, that they never had true faith in the first place. Their true spiritual status is that of a false Christian. And when I say spiritual status, I mean Christ-like status. People who think they are Christians, thinking they are saved, but actually aren't, either believe in a false gospel or were false converts who never intended to follow God's prompting to accept Christ. There's no such thing as a used-to-be Christian.
Weather can change in an instant, and you need to be prepared for any outcome. That's why Generator Supercenter of Nashville will help keep your family safe and connected. We make buying a backup generator simple and easy, with financing options available, free in-home estimate, turnkey installations, no worry warranty, and most importantly, the monitoring and service of your fully installed generator. Come see us at our location in Nashville or visit us online.
All right, kids.
Generator
Talk about
Supercenter of
Wellness Institute
Nashville.
of Nashville.
We serve all Middle
Right
Tennessee.
now, go to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Simple and easy. Go to paintisbad.com or call 615-246-5009 and grab yourself the Big Daddy Trump special. $12 for a comprehensive exam, x-rays if needed. And then they're going to go through and give you your diagnosis of what's going on. And that's what you want because you want to get your back back. And it's only $12 to do it? Yes, please. Why them? First of all, technology is better than anything. But the most important thing, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, they've seen it all. They've done it all. And they can help you get your back back. Get yourself back to living a life pain-free. So what are you waiting for? Take advantage of the $12 special, the Big Daddy Trump special, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or check them out on the web at paintisbad.com.
Texas death toll climbs. Trump administration moving to secure U.S. farmland and farmers from what they call foreign adversaries. And the list of candidates is growing, those announcing they will run to replace retiring Congressman Mark Green. All this and more at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
This guy just texted me and says, I think it's a guy. My superhero name is Ace Cannon. Can you say on the radio, you're the man, Ace Cannon? You're the man, Ace Cannon. That's a superhero name?
Ace Cannon.
Ace Cannon. You're going to go watch the Superman movie?
You know, man, I'm kind of out on superhero movies. I just I'm trying to think of the last one that I saw and I was highly disappointed. It was one, not his name is Benedict Cumberbatch played who did he play?
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. I think that's the last one I saw, and I did not like it. I thought there was too much.
You know what? Confused the hell out of me.
Yeah,
it was like the movie Inception. You watch Inception, you're like, I have no idea what the hell I just watched.
Well, and they're trying to cram these new characters down our throats.
Yeah, there's too
and
many.
And I don't like them.
That's way too many. I mean, we were kids, right? You had what's the place they used to all go do their business, the UN for superheroes? Remember that?
Oh, I don't know.
Justice League
The
Hall of Fame.
Justice League. Meanwhile, at the Justice League, and you had like 8 people there. Now there are fringe, right? Suction cup guy.
Yeah.
Guy that turns into a lizard guy.
Blue Beetle.
Girl that's half invisible, but then the other half is like, is made of concrete. Blue Beetle.
Well, and man.
There was a sweet movie. Good God.
I tell you, boys, I tried to get through this Moon Knight because it's got some good actors in it. But I got so tired of the sissy version of Moon Knight who would get upset after he had learned he had beaten somebody up.
Well, that's
and it just kept over and over. He'd say, I don't want to hurt people.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't want to hurt people.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Super guy.
Kick their ass.
No doubt. Oh.
It's just, stop it.
And Superman, I've seen several reviews, and one or two people are like, it's really good because he's kind of like the dorky Superman that we all love. He's not like dark and brooding. Because that's also the other thing that happened, right? They decided to turn every superhero into dark and brooding, which nobody...
Batman was the only one that was dark and brooding.
Yeah, and I rooted for Bane. I'm like, I hope he kills
Bane.
you. I hope he kills you. It was just so, Batman. Ugh, all of them. You stupid. It's
but
silly.
I don't know, man. For me, they've gotten too woke. Yeah. I'm okay with people who want to be themselves, but don't cram it down my throat.
No, and you're messing with people's memories.
Right.
Right? Like, Superman didn't fight climate change when I was a kid. Well, it's because it wasn't there. No, it's because nobody cares. Nobody's going to watch him fly around with Greta Thunberg to save the world. That seems stupid.
Yes. Yeah, the wokeness part of it is what's turning me off.
Yeah.
It really is.
I don't even know where, is this DC? Is this Marvel? I don't know. There's 75 people I've never seen before in my life.
Yeah, Superman was DC, right?
Yeah. And James Gunn is the one who's directed that, and he did like the Guardians and stuff, and they said, and they've made it, I don't, this is what my uncle and a few other people have seen it, and they said, it was
Yeah.
It's like as best we describe it.
Yeah.
So...
He's
everybody likes
letting
the dog.
too much of his inner nerd come out because he's going over the heads of the average viewer.
Yeah, everybody, the dog. That's what everybody likes in this. You could have just done a movie about the dog, and it would have been fine.
Is it a little fat weenie?
No, it's the super dog thingy, whatever it is.
Crypto.
Bitcoin. Yeah, it is. It's Dogecoin. Oh, jeez, Chad. So no, I'm not going to see that.
Yeah, I'm not either. And that last Thor, where he apparently falls in love. Miss me with that.
Although
miss
I will
me
say
with that.
The second Thor that was kind of a comedy with Jeff Goldblum was super funny.
Yeah, I liked that.
Because of the two guys, the guy,
he's a friend from work.
Taiki Tawari, whatever the hell his name is, I always mess it up. He is hilarious playing that rock guy. Yeah, that's Gary over there. Yeah, we started this revolution. It was just... But they're all ridiculous at this point. And they're so confusing. How many versions of stuff do we have to go through?
Yeah.
They used to be campy and fun.
Yeah.
Now they're ridiculous.
I don't know why they had to make Captain America black. No. Why? Who's that actor that's playing him now?
Oh, God.
He was the Falcon.
Yeah.
Is he no longer the Falcon?
He's no longer the Falcon.
He's no longer the Falcon.
Well,
now he's Captain America.
That's actually a storyline from the 70s.
Still. But there's no we've gone to the point now where we have to overdo it to show how woke we're making movies for people in Hollywood who make the movies, not for people who want to watch the movies.
Bingo. It's like that series I was telling you about I watched with Seth Rogen. I cannot forget the name of it now, but it was on just recently. Basically, they're making fun of the bean counters in Hollywood, who they take a perfect script and then they start worrying about who it's going to offend until they have completely changed.
One thing that offends me, Superman's an illegal alien and nobody's trying to arrest him.
Well, no, that's what he talks about. He actually brought that up. I know, but Superman always you need to find somebody who will battle Superman because otherwise it's just boring watching him beat up randos down the street. Oh, that's ridiculous. Coming up, we are going to talk about men and do you do enough work? Some immigration stuff as well. Who knows what else will squeeze in it? It's Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Tell you a little bit about that line of showers and storms moving this way from the west. The Texas death toll now up to 109, and rescue crews are racing to find those who are still missing, like the girls who were at Camp Mystic. ABC's Matt Gutman on the questions that have been swirling since the floods regarding the warning systems.
And with so many now wondering if a better warning system could have been used, Texas's lieutenant governor now saying that sirens might have made the difference, might have saved lives. He's saying going forward, the state will pay for them.
And President Trump says he will be visiting the region on Friday. The Trump administration moving to protect U.S. farmland and farmers from foreign entities they say are bad actors like China. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says it also protects our troops by making sure farmland near military bases are protected.
We would be asleep at the wheel if we were not fully a party to an effort like this to ensure that our nation had the food supply it needs. But specifically, our troops have what they need.
Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins says she's already canceled 7 active agreements with entities in foreign countries of concern, and she says more cancellations are on the way. And in Tennessee, at least 5 state lawmakers say they intend to run for retiring Congressman Mark Green's 7th district seat. Franklin Republican State Rep Lee Reeves, the latest. He was on the air this morning with WTN's Dan Mandis, who asked him why, after just 1 year in the legislature, you're going to make a run for Congress.
Well, it's a good question, and it's one I'm sure I'm going to get. But look, I wanted to serve the people, and this is not the timing I would have chosen. Obviously, I would have hoped that our congressman had stayed longer, and I may not be running, but the opportunity is right now to serve a greater district than the one I have, and I love. I love what I'm doing right now, but I think it's an opportunity to serve.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Tomorrow we have more hit and miss thunderstorms again in the afternoon with the risk for minor flooding and poor drainage areas.
Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. It's technology that is amazing. Go to Byrna.com to find out what they're all about. They're launchers. These things are amazing. This is a great way to protect yourself. Less lethal, but still does more than the job when it comes to protecting yourself. And police use it. They look and feel and handle in many ways just like a gun, and they're incredible. And why something like this? Well, first of all, it's amazing. There's no background check, right? Legal in all 50 states. Carry it just about anywhere. And that's good. The other thing is it's a great way to practice. It's a great way to because you know how expensive things are. Well, let me tell you something. This is so inexpensive to practice and give you the same feel as you would with real gun. So why not check out and see what they have to offer? Right now, save 10%. Just say Chad sent you. They're local right here. You can go in and shoot and find out what everything's all about. 615-558-0534. 615-558-0534. Check them out online, byrna.com. All right, guys. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycons. You will love yours. I wear mine all the time. I do a lot of work, and I can wear them all day, which I love. They're the best earbuds around. Everyday earbuds are incredible. The fit, the feel, the comfort. 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life. And if you're outside running around doing stuff, especially as the weather's getting a little nicer, you don't have to worry about them falling out of your ears. And that, to me, is great. On top of the massive talk time and listening time, they've got fast charging, which is awesome. And that is, for me, really important. They've also got multi-connectivity. So I can be connected to my phone and my workstations, and that is incredible as well. You know, the best earbuds around, price that will not break the bank, with active noise cancellation and so many other incredible things. It is the everyday earbuds from Raycon. Tons of colors to choose from. And right now, go to buyraycon.com/Chad. 30-day happiness guarantee, as well as 15% off. And they already start about half the price of other premium audio rounds. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
It is exactly what the movie is about, I think, that, like, we support our people, you know? We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants, and if you don't like that, then you're not American.
Who's that for? First of all, Superman's not real. Secondly, let's just say a space alien, because that's what he is, comes down, who can fly. Again, not normal.
Superpowered.
Yeah, you can't stop him.
Can smash your skull with one punch.
Outside of some weird rock that we don't have on our planet, we can't stop him. He's not an immigrant. He's now the owner of Earth. There you go. Who's that for?
Supreme Leader Superman.
And nobody's got anything against an immigrant.
No.
It is an illegal immigrant that we've got the beef with.
He needs to go back to his exploded home and try to come back into the country the right way.
Sorry, I've looked, and there's nowhere in this that says if your home exploded, you can come to America. It's not here. You can't apply for asylum. It's not the way that works.
But see, that's why I can't get into these movies anymore, because they're trying to make a stupid point. I don't want to.
It's like, who's that for?
I'm starting to get mad.
I know, but who's this for? Well, I'm showing everybody. What, everybody that's here illegally? They're like, I wasn't going to see Superman, but I am now.
Yeah,
that's
well,
not the way that
changed my
works.
mind.
Good God. It's so stupid. It is. Somebody said, I will go for some Scarlett Johansson in the new Jurassic World movie. Let me ask you guys this. Why do they continue to still have dinosaurs? Why has nobody nuked the island at some point? Secondly, and I think this is important, why is it every time somebody goes to the island, you know what we're missing? A child. We should take a child to the island. To recover the most we're always looking for the most dangerous things in history.
I think they should take an 8-month pregnant woman who already has a 2-year-old with them.
That's right. Oh.
And an infant who is teething.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Anthony Mackie plays the new captain, and I like Anthony Mackie.
I love it.
He's a great actor, but I don't know, why not turn the Falcon into a franchise?
No, absolutely.
Let's see Anthony Mackie continue as the Falcon.
Yeah, and why? I just somebody said, did you know that Velma is gay? We always kind of assumed Velma was gay, right? Like everybody kind of figured that one even before they kind of made it that she was gay.
Velma?
Yeah, from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah. The one with the glasses.
Yeah,
and the bob haircut and the clunky shoes.
Yeah, we always kind of assumed, right? Like that's not a giant leap.
Man, I really didn't even think about that.
Like you're sitting there going, I don't know if she's gay.
Wonder how many times Daphne had to call HR.
Plenty, I'm sure. It's like, hey, I can't do this anymore. I thought Scooby and Shaggy were getting weird. They're just stoned all the time, right? Because that's also good parenting of a puppy. Doink, Scoob, let's go smoke weed.
But you got to give them credit for covering it up by calling them Scooby Snacks.
That's right. It's so funny, too. You wonder, you guys maybe think the reason you see so many ghosts is because you guys are high as a kite?
Yeah, it might be the shrooms, Scooby snacks that you're consuming.
Yeah, they're not smoking pot. They're doing edibles.
They are so Edibles. Are we doing work, guys, in the house?
All right. When it comes to doing work around the house, the gender gap is gradually closing. That's according to a new government survey. Men in the U.S. are spending a record high amount of time on household chores last year, although American women still do work more. Last year, men averaged 100 minutes a day doing activities like laundry and cleaning, while women worked 40 minutes more. The biggest shift for men? Time spent cooking and cleaning up the kitchen, now about 28 minutes a day.
There you go. So men were doing better. And if you go look, men are also working longer at work. So it kind of balances itself out. What do you want? It's no 50-50, people. God.
I do all the cooking in my home.
Do you? Yeah, you do.
Yep.
You do. What's your go-to? Like, if you had to cook one thing to try to impress everybody, what is it?
To try to impress people?
Yeah.
Probably Coca-Cola ribs.
Oh.
Grilling a ribeye.
Nice.
I don't even grill them. I put them in my Instapot.
Instant Pot's the greatest thing ever. That's how they say guys are cooking now.
Oh,
they just throw stuff in there and go, I'm cooking some tonight. You're like, it smells great. I know, right? I'm amazing.
Yeah, that's like, in the fall and winter, I just crock pot. I just throw chicken or shrimp or pork chops or whatever meat in and throw a bunch of vegetables and cans of mushroom soup or something to go with it.
That's the man's potpourri right there.
Pint of whiskey and just lets it boil in that.
It's a man's potpourri.
And a lit Marlboro.
I'm a man, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I've never been more man than I am right now with mayonnaise.
Well, he's got his cowboy boots on and his
and nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Six
except
shooters.
Except for a cooking apron.
And a 6-shooters. You got to have 6 shooters.
Got to have 6 shooters.
Just in case you might see something going on.
Well, you never know, man. Jim Hardy might come by and need some help.
Oh, that's right.
Some rustlers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's all right. Let's go find some rustlers. I like Jim. He's all like, hey, what's going on? How you doing, everybody? For those of you guys not keeping score, yesterday we found out that there's nothing to see here with this craziness. Earlier, just a little while ago, as they all sat around the table, they asked Miss Pam Bondi, who's apparently still the Attorney General. So remind everybody again that there's nothing to see here.
Go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night.
Okay.
And that's it on Epstein.
Yeah, you're awful at this, and I think we should all recognize that.
1999?
Yeah.
We can't buy a new tape since then?
It's nobody buys it, so let's just all move on. There's something that went on, something sketchy. We all recognize that. We're not buying anything that you're talking about. Now, I'm not saying that it was, the most damning of evidence that you had, but to say that all you got was porn that was awful and that was it, to a person who kept meticulous records, he had none of them. But we could revisit it later. It's just the whole thing is you didn't do anything to squash anybody's worries.
And you set more conspiracy theories in.
You did. And by the way, apparently Elon Musk has come out and hit harder because, they've been talking a lot about Elon and him going back and forth.
I think the first cabinet meeting since Elon Musk has not been a special government employee, not here anymore. He's now saying he's going to create a third political party. Are you worried about the impact that could have?
No, I think it'll help us. It'll probably help. Third parties have always been good for me. I don't know about Republicans, but for me.
Are you second guessing any of the cuts that Doge made since you
No,
described him as off the rails
look,
the other day?
we cut hundreds of billions of dollars with Doge. We could have done it differently. I would have done it differently a little bit, maybe, but it was something that we saved a lot of money. You can always second guess. I guess some of the people in this room maybe would have done it slightly differently, and some would have done it exactly the way it was done. But it was dramatic and it was important.
And it was nothing. Nothing.
Was any of that codified in the big, beautiful bill?
Very little.
So if it
was a
wasn't
joke.
codified, it doesn't count.
No, and then they had to come back and do what? They had to come back and hire back a lot of people. So it was nothing. He ran around. I got what I wanted out of it, which was, okay, now you guys are going to see what the real deep state looks like for the average person that's not looking at everybody around the corners of shadow, which is the bureaucracy of D.C. has so much power. And we got to see that. Outside of any of that, no, you guys ran around screaming and yelling. You may have thinned a little bit, but nobody's going, geez, we're spending more money than ever before. We are. By the way, Elon came out and said Bannon is implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein files. And, of course, we all know that Elon said that he was there. Time to drop the really big bomb. Remember when he wrote that in early June? The real reason they haven't been made public is because of Donald Trump. Have a nice day. It's tough to walk that one off. Yeah. So, hey, I'm going to call you a pedophile. We'll see if we can be friends later.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. And they haven't been. Several of you have asked me, would you be okay if they release this? And people, I don't care who's on the list. If it's bad, it should be out there. If we're
and
serious
people should
about
be
it.
prosecuted.
Yeah. What if it's Trump? Then it's Trump. Who cares?
Doesn't matter who it is.
No doubt. If it's Biden, if it's Trump, I don't care if it was the Queen of England. Dig her up and we'll try her.
Well, one of the princes was probably on it.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Of all of the people on the list or not list, the only one who got any hell and any of that stuff was Prince Andrew.
And he got it from his mommy.
Yeah. And he was the weeniest. He's the second weeniest of the princes, right? Because his brother Edward's kind of he's a weenie too. So that's it. That's all. Good God. Come on, man. Coming up. We'll wrap up the show. I've seen him walking around or skulking around here with his new shoulder that's stronger. He's like the bionic man. Oh, I can't wait to arm wrestle. He'll rip my arm off, just like that lion ripped that lady's hand and arm off. Oh, jeez. Matt Murphy will join the program straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super 99.7. Matt's here. Hey, I never heard yesterday because I was running so fast in between the raindrops. Where is your shoulder made?
I'm very, hold on. I was very busy. I was helping produce your show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So he
Somebody's
never,
got to.
so he hello. Yeah, he would retort, but headless. So he was evasive. So I was like, hey, the gang over at the station, they're messing with me. They're calling it my Chinese shoulder. They're calling it my Timu shoulder. And I was like, let's get to the nuts and bolts of all of this, literally and figuratively. What's going on? And he's like, oh, yeah, no. Man, he said, I've shown it to you. The pin goes, and he pulls up the little diagram. The pin goes down the bone, down the humerus bone, and then the titanium cap. It's titanium pin, it's titanium cap, and it caps over there, and there's plastic on the other side. He's going, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but where's it from? Well, so anyway, on PT, we're going to be scheduling you 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, where's it from? You really need to watch that incision. And I was like, where's it from? And he goes, I'm not really sure.
So he was just avoiding the question.
He was just avoiding the question. So he's not really sure. I'm going to assume. And so what I advise the listening audience to do is that as you see me out and about, just,
do you have a make of it?
Just don't really. I would encourage you not to say anything around my shoulder that you might not want the Chinese to know.
Is it like a John Deere? Is it a Zenith?
I would like to believe. I don't think, I would like to believe at least the part. I mean, well, all I know is much like Ford trucks.
Yeah.
None of the parts are made here, but they're all assembled here.
Okay.
So I know that it was assembled here. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
So if that accounts for made in the USA. Then,
yeah, that's
let's see.
most of them seem to be.
Oh,
Well, there's a lot of
Chad.
them.
Look at Chad getting.
Well,
to
I
the
want to
bottom
make
of it.
sure. There's a lot of them made here, but I think it probably depends too. It's like, sir, we were looking at your shoulder, and we thought for a minute we were going to get you the Rolls Royce of shoulders, but instead you get a Pinto.
So here's the thing that I have already discovered in the brief 2 days of physical therapy that I've gone through. I don't care how crappy the Chinese shoulder is. It's better than the crappy shoulder that I had before it.
That's right.
So
That shoulder was made in America and broke by Matt.
King of the osteophytes.
Oh, so now it's just sore rather than the pain that was.
It's not really. I told the story yesterday on the air that my first day of PT, Abby, or Abigail, as I'm calling her because I don't like her very much, and that's her full name, or full first name. Abigail we got up to 116 degrees of bend. So, 90. If you're laying on your back, 90 degrees is straight in the air. We got to 116 degrees.
Well, we should wipe that. I saw you put your hand up. You know
Yeah,
what that
that's
means.
going to look like the Heil Hitler.
If you know what that means,
There
we
go. Me and Elon. He's back on good graces. So, and as we get to that point, I was like, hey, I don't know if you need to know this or not, but right now, as we speak, it feels like my shoulder's about to pop out of socket. And it really did. I mean, it felt like it was about to pop out of socket. And she said, the way she put this was, she goes, I hear you. I validate you. It's not going to pop out of socket. I was like, okay, well, just as look, I'm dividing it. This is the way I look at it. There's positive pain and negative pain. Negative pain means you're breaking something.
Yeah.
I was in negative pain.
Yeah.
All of this is positive pain. It means we're getting to something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like when you're working out and you're sore the next day. That's
Right. That's
pain,
positive
but
pain.
you're getting to something
Positive pain.
that's going to be better.
Well, let's get to the serious question, though. How long until you're able to drive a golf ball again?
So my goal is it's 3 more weeks of quote unquote technically non-movement therapy, 6 weeks of movement therapy, 6 weeks of strength therapy. So that's a total of 12 more. That's 13, 14, 15. So it's about 4 months.
All right, cool.
So what is it? July, August, September, October. So my goal is before October's up. I'm hitting golf balls.
All right, let's do it. We're going to have a Halloween party like no tomorrow. What are you going to talk about today?
Oh, there's nothing in the news, right?
No, there's nothing.
I have Gloria Johnson is a state representative out of the Knoxville area.
Gloria.
Big behemoth of a woman.
She's a larger woman.
She's
a larger woman. She's the one who ruined The Little Mermaid today.
Yeah, she's roomy. Anyway, so she calls all Trump supporters Hitler and his concentration camps and all these things. And she challenged Tim Burchett that his support of the Big Beautiful Law, now what was the Big Beautiful Bill, was going to kill 30,000 people in the state of Tennessee. It was going to put all these hospitals out of business, to which I said, we should talk about this on the radio. And I offered Tim Burchett and Gloria Johnson an opportunity to come, and I would moderate a discussion about Medicaid in the state of Tennessee. And Tim Burchett yesterday on the show agreed, and Gloria Johnson, as you might expect, has yet to respond. Today, at the beginning of the show, I'm going to significantly sweeten the pot in terms of encouraging Gloria
Snacks.
Johnson, in addition to whatever snack she would like, whatever, sugary sodas and, flavored snacks. I don't know.
And mayonnaise.
Pretzels, yogurt,
whatever,
covered bread, whatever she needs.
TV time with the Justins.
We're going to significantly sweeten the pot just in mere moments.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
That'd be good.
That's coming up, everybody. Matt's the one shoulder and bionic shoulder man straight ahead. Have a good Tuesday. We'll do it again tomorrow.